Hey, it's the Buffalo Bills. Hey, Buffalo, it's the Mafia. Josh Allen, Steph Diggs, Shaq Lawson, who's stopping us? Trey Edmonds, Ed Oliver, Jordan Phillips, who blocking us? I don't see nobody stopping us. Number one, no one on top of us.
If they go out and they prove to the world, hey, those Bills you've been hearing about, you better quit having any doubt. You make a statement Thursday night if you come out of the chutes and prove to everybody that the expectations that have been put on the Bills' shoulders are legit and they have been earned. You go out and you absolutely flatten the Rams. Oh, you think if they go out and they prove to the world, hey, those Bills you've been hearing about, you better quit having any doubt. You make a statement Thursday night if you come out of the chutes and prove to everybody that the expectations that have been put on the Bills' shoulders are legit and they have been earned. You go out and you absolutely flatten the Rams. Oh, you think I'm loud and energetic and fired up now, and every time you tune in here, you better turn your speakers down next week. That's all I'm saying. Because I'm telling you where my mind's going to be if this winds up being a good game and if the Bills wind up winning. I mean, I'm telling you right now where my mind's going to be. You don't even want to know where I'm going to be if they wind up rolling.
And he's
Bills, baby!
He's in and he's out. Z-Bot, I'll get you out. I'll get you out of there, buddy. And he's in and he's out.
The hype video is so nice, we had to play it twice. What is up, Buffalo Fanatics? Z-Bot, Rico, Victory Friday. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Let's freaking go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition. It is the Buffalo Fanatics. We are here to talk about what went down about last night. I don't know if you guys are still on a high right now. I know it's week one. Z-Bot, we know it's week one. I mean, some people want to overreact. I don't think this is an overreaction. I think this is something that we expected. There was some shock, but definitely not the way of the Bills. I think a lot of people are talking about what the F happened to the Rams. But right now, today, it's not about the Rams. It's about the freaking Buffalo Bills. Holy heck. How are you feeling today? Are you still on a high right now? Are you still feeling it, or are you coming down?
No coming down from that. It's a high that I absolutely needed after the amount of hype and expectation being built. And it was almost like it was compounding. We knew the hype and the expectations were there throughout the preseason. If you've noticed, and we've chatted about this a good amount, as the last few weeks have come to a close and as the season approached, the hype got crazier and crazier, and everybody put out their Super Bowl predictions, and everybody was picking the Bills. And just yesterday, and this is where I wanted to start because I want to talk about my personal thoughts prior to the game and how much that this game shocked me because of that. The expectations for the Bills were so unprecedented. I personally think coming into this season, it has to be some of the highest expectations an NFL team has ever had. And this is for a team that, as good as they are, didn't make the AFC Championship last year. They did not make the AFC Championship last year. They lost in the division. And when you think about it, the hype for a team that didn't even make the AFC Championship, when have you ever heard of that before? I've talked about this multiple times. With the Bills, you would have thought that Allen won the MVP and the Bills won the Super Bowl 40-0 the way the expectations were building. And then, of course, they go and make the offseason moves that they did. They definitely got better in the areas they needed to. And I was a firm believer that this team, not only are they better than last year, but they are definitely deserving, based on their roster and the way they played in the playoffs last year, of being the Super Bowl favorite. But yesterday, when I find out the Rams are 2.5-point dogs at home, raising the banner, coming off a Super Bowl win, I think to myself, man, this is nuts. I mean, truly nuts. And I thought the Bills were going to win, but I thought it was going to be a dogfight, a slugfest, just down to the wire type game. And Rico, if the Bills didn't slip up, if they didn't shoot themselves in the foot a couple of times, this game could have been over at half with ease. If McKenzie doesn't hand over an interception, if Bass doesn't kick the ball out of bounds, they beat the living shit out of them to the point when you really think back on it, the fact they only won 31-10 was almost disappointing. I cannot believe what we witnessed last night. At the same time, I can. But what it did for me, Rico, it affirmed that this team does not care about those expectations, does not care about that pressure, and they are indeed deserving of all of it and are as good as advertised, if not better. Because like I just said, they didn't touch their potential last night, Rico, and they beat the living hell out of the reigning champs.
I'll say this, man. I think it was apropos. I think this was the perfect game for all the hype to be going the Bills' way. Because had we been playing someone like the Jets, playing someone like, Arizona Cardinals, or playing someone like the Browns, there would have been a lot more pressure on the Bills because those teams are known to be lesser of the talent that the Bills have, but they made them go against the supercharged LA Rams, the Super Bowl winning LA Rams. So the hype was perfect, and they have to build this hype because it's the first game of the season. You want it to be explosive. You want it to be exciting, and they did it. They freaking held it up to high standards because they want everybody to buy into the hype. But here's the thing. I think a lot of people expected some disappointment coming from the Bills, right? We need to bring them down a peg because they're too hot. Why are you guys talking about the Bills as if they are, like you said, you guys lost the freaking in the division round. You didn't even go to the AFC Championship, and we're talking about you, right? It's because we're playing the Rams, the Super Bowl winning Rams. And everyone and their mama knows that if we made it past the damn Chiefs, we would have been sitting here with our ring.
Did that not sink into you a little bit last night? It was funny. Hours had passed because I was riding that high. I didn't think about anything else other than the game. And I'm scrolling Twitter. It's like 2 a.m. because I just couldn't sleep. I'm so jazzed.
Absolutely.
And then that's when it hit me, Rico. I go, yo, wait a minute. That's probably what would have happened in February. Maybe not to that extent because they're missing the beefed up D line. They're beating the Rams. No, Von Miller or not. We saw the massive gap in talent. And what was crazy to me, Rico, and it really was on full display last night, and it often is almost every week. Matt Stafford is one of the better quarterbacks in the league, right? And as soon as he went to LA, it immediately put them over the top. It won him the chip. We always knew he was great in Detroit. They just never had the organization or the skill around him to get him to the distance. You watch him out on that field last night with Josh Allen on the other side. And that's like watching a homemade student film versus a Martin Scorsese masterpiece. And that's not taking anything away from Matt Stafford, who, by the way, played terrible. He's not as bad as he played last night. But the discrepancy in talent alone between him and Allen is so obvious that no matter what, the thing you take away is no matter who these Bills play, it's almost always going to be that obvious unless you're playing, in my opinion, a handful of guys like Mahomes, who, of course, is why they always have great battles. Lamar, always a good battle. Yep. When you're playing guys like that, the talent discrepancy and the overall entertainment value, if not for anything else, outside of the Bills being as good as they are, how fun is this team to watch? I mean, it is must-see television. Everything Allen does on almost every snap, you can't miss it. And you got one snap where he's stiff-arming a guy. You got another snap where he looks like Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four, extending the ball over the pylon. And then you got him just hucking deep balls like he's throwing a ping pong. You never know what you're going to get, but it's always mind-blowing.
It was a beautiful thing to watch. And I'm going to go back on the Matthew Stafford thing because a lot of people are saying like he's talented, and he is talented. But let's not forget that team was a pretty stacked team that Matthew Stafford went. He was the drop that they needed to bring them over the top, right? They had Jared Goff. Jared Goff brought them to the Super Bowl. Let's not forget, they've already been there. It's not like it was a terrible team, and Matthew Stafford was such an elite player that he took them over the top. He was just an very good added piece to make them get over the top. Now, when you look at a team that's rebuilt from the freaking bottom up, when Brandon Beane came to the Bills, he pretty much got rid of the expensive pieces and built the bottom and brought it up. And that's why it's just lovely to It's lovely to watch the Bills. It's very difficult to root against the Bills because they didn't just add to. They weren't the Golden State Warriors where they bring in KD. It wasn't like that. This was a built from the bottom all the way up, and this is the product of it. We're looking at a team that is destined to do great things this year. We were close 2 years ago. We were close. We tasted a little bit 2 years ago. Then we were even closer, and I felt even though we were a game out, I felt that we were even closer. We had the talent on this team to bring us over the top. Now, this might be the LA Rams last year when they brought Von Miller and they brought in a new quarterback. Now, Von Miller is now bringing his prowess. He's bringing his expertise to Buffalo. This could be it. Now, this is week 1. We have to temper our excitement. It's hard to, but we've got to temper our excitement. But like my man P Money just said, this just feels different. It just feels different. I've talked to many fans, young and those that have been watching these Bills teams since the 70s. And this feels very good to them. And it's like, just hang tight and enjoy the ride is what a lot of folks are saying. So if you guys feel that way, smash that like. If you feel that this is the type of Bills team that you just sit back and watch. Let it marvel in what's going to happen this year. And I'm looking very much forward to it. This game was just something else, man. It started off, okay, we marched down the field. We it's a nice, well-scripted first 10, 15 plays, and Ken Dorsey did what he had to do. Let's talk about Ken Dorsey.
Yeah.
I need to get in on Ken Dorsey. Ken Dorsey, first-time OC. Pressure's on. Brian Daboll leaves. Brian Daboll left his mark. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people want to say that Brian Daboll's what put Allen where he's at right now. We got to give him credit. But guess what? Ken Dorsey was there along for the ride as well as a quarterback's coach. Now that he takes over as the OC, it was so refreshing to see how he was able to make us not even mention Brian Daboll, right? And I'm mentioning it now because how good he was. Because had he not had a good game and the calls were just all over the place, we would have been like, oh boy, this is going to be a long season. But boy, this is going to be an exciting season. I'm excited about Ken Dorsey. I want to know your thoughts on how you felt about the play calling last year, this year, this game, and how you feel about Ken Dorsey going forward.
You'll never hear Brian Daboll's name again mentioned this entire season. And that's no disrespect to Brian Daboll. And it's how I felt the entire offseason. I had nothing but respect and love and admiration for Brian Daboll. And I wish him nothing but the best of luck in New York, because I think, if anybody can get it done out there, hopefully it's him. The NFL is better when the NFC East is good. The NFC East has been terrible for a long time. And, of course, I don't root for any team, not even marginally. But I do like watching good, like this Sunday, I'm rooting for good football. The NFL is better when the Giants are better, when the big market teams are better. So I'm rooting for Brian Daboll. And yes, of course, did he play a hand in Josh Allen's development? Absolutely. But like you mentioned, Ken Dorsey was right along there for the ride. And I really was, it really hit home for me, Rico, when we spoke to the players about Ken Dorsey specifically. We talked about him and his presence on the field with multiple players, and every single one of them had the same thing to say. And it was just how intense he is, how great of a coach he is, how, what you see does not meet the eye. I mean, this guy is on it. He's on our ass. And then I went to the training camp. He's running from every drill like a player. I mean, he's running like he'll be punished with sprints if he doesn't go from one drill to the next sprinting. Last night, Rico, that first drive, was it not everything we've been pounding the table for from these Bills? Let's start here. The short passing game, Rico. Every ball Allen threw was out of his hands within 2 seconds. He worked the ball to numerous receivers, allowing them to get yards after the catch, which was our major issue on offense last year. They tic-tac-toed the ball all the way down the field and into the end zone. They milked the clock, got everybody involved, up Josh Allen's confidence. Everything about it was executed to perfection. Yes. He ran an incredible game plan last night from top to bottom. I only have one critique, and it's really hard to critique it because of how well it works. But it's just the constant worry it gives me, and that is the endless running of Josh Allen, especially up the middle into traffic. He ran Josh Allen, in my opinion, 4 or 5 times too many last night, especially towards the end of the game. But the other issue with it is it Ken Dorsey's fault, or is it the fact that Allen, I tweeted this out last night, if the end zone was filled with barbed wire, or if the yard ahead of him was molten lava, he'd dive into it like an Olympic swimmer.
Yes, he would.
That's who he is. So I don't know how much of the blame's on Ken Dorsey. And that is my only critique. I'd like to see a little less, because what we saw to Josh Allen last night, it's as good as it gets. And if you're like me, you wince every time he runs, because he's never fallen down, man. He's taken on 4 or 5 defenders every single time.
And you know what? I'm with you. I totally agree. It just, you hold your breath.
Oh yeah, I sound like a steak. I'm like just like that.
I hope it's medium rare, by the way. But anyway, so when you look at what he does, listen. When you're 5'11", 203 pounds, you do have to watch out. You're 6'1", you're saying 210 pounds. You got to watch out a little bit, because these corners, that's the size of the corners. But when you're 6'5", 240,
I know,
and you can run. He feels indestructible, and that's the problem a little bit. Yes. But I love his confidence. And what we have to wrap our minds around is that is part of Allen's game. If he doesn't do that, he's not a complete Allen. Allen is a complete player when he can run the ball and when he can pass the ball. That makes him the most natural dual threat, right? We don't want to limit him to just staying in the pocket, because that's not true Allen fashion. How many times has he bailed us out when he does just Allen things?
Oh yeah.
Go back to the what was it? Was it the Chiefs game, the Miami Dolphins game, where he goes left and he splits both defenders when we needed that third, I think it was a 3rd and 4 or something like that. Those are the things we need from Allen, guys like Allen. And I want to go back to the first 15, I think it was like 7 plays that it took to score. I want to give you the sequence of how it went down, right? So first attempt, Allen's out of shotgun, and it's a pass right to Diggs, 6 yards.
Yep.
Right on Ramsey, right?
I love, by the way, because no better way to kick the game off, because he only had 2 catches against him prior, and you're like, oh, okay, they're going to go right after him tonight.
Listen, let me tell you something. This is what got me excited, because we could have easily started off with a freaking handoff and just say, okay, let's get this ball going. No, we're going to not only pass the ball, but we're going to pass the ball to Diggs, and we're going right at Ramsey. Set the mother effing tone right off the bat. So that's the first play. Second play, no huddle, right? They don't play around. Josh Allen scrambles, 7 yards. Here we go. Right now, you're like, okay, so we're working this. This is a first down. Let's keep it going, right? Devin Singletary runs the ball for 7 yards. For crying out loud, I got a bone. We're gonna talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. I got a bone to pick, but we're gonna keep going, right? 2nd and 3, short pass, Singletary, 6 yards. Bobby Wagner on that tackle. We keep going, right? Shotgun, Devin Singletary left, 2 yards. Next play, Josh Allen passed over the middle to who? Diggs for 12 yards. Let's keep the sticks moving, right? We're going to go back to Zach Moss on a 1-yarder. We're keeping it bound. And then we go back to Josh Allen with his passes to Zach Moss, 8 yards. Zach Moss, we're going to get into that. Last but not least, we okey-doke the whole freaking stadium, where we look like we're going left, get them bounced, and then we freaking find Gabriel Davis in the end zone. It's like he's getting so used to being in the end zone, it's natural to him. We're gonna have to call him start TD Davis. I don't know what it's gonna be, but Davis just knows the end zone. That's your first 7 plays, and
it was just so beautiful.
Man, oh man, how exciting it is to have a general. How exciting it is. If we're going to show the fits off, how exciting is it to have general?
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
I had to come on and put that. By the way, speaking of fits, speaking of what we're wearing, I'd like to know what you've got on there, sir.
Oh, you like this?
I do. Hey, listen, show the people what you got there.
Yeah, this is the fashion. What do they call it there? Fashion Week, New York City is what I'll be wearing on the runway. We got the Bills Zuba overalls. We got the Buffalo Zuba's bucket hat, and then I got my perfect game shirt on underneath, and I may or may not be wearing some Bills boxers that only a select few get to see, of course, on special occasions. Rico, to your point about TD Davis, though, and it's going to get me into something I want to talk about in a second, because I went through and took the liberty of writing everything down to share with the folks, because there were a lot of crazy things that happened last night, and I wrote every single one of them down to make sure to share them because of how just truly nuts this Bills team operates at. I mean, it's insane the stuff that they pull off. But to Gabe Davis's point, and you talking about, TD Davis, you're dead on. 8 TDs in the last 6 games and 494 yards. And I had a feeling last night that was going to be a coming out game for him in the regular season. He hadn't really had that yet. Of course, his best games have been in the postseason. I felt that last night would be a perfect opportunity because of Ramsey being on Diggs. The most beautiful thing about it, Rico, was not only was it a coming out night for Davis, but Diggs absolutely mauled Jalen Ramsey to the point where, I mean, it didn't matter. They went after him on numerous occasions, and every single time it resulted in success to the point where Allen had a perfect passer rating against him. And not only that, Rico, if we're talking about how dynamic that duo is, not just Diggs, but Davis as well. When targeting both when targeting both Diggs and Davis, Allen had a perfect passer rating the entire night. So you are watching a dominant wide receiver duo form before our eyes. It's one of those things that we predicted, Rico, amongst other things. Yep. And it was one of those things last night that you can see is well on its way to coming to fruition. And
here's the thing. I'm gonna double up on that. And I don't know where I read it, but it was someone that was saying Davis was clear as day that he's present, but they didn't overly go to him. Right. But he's exactly effective. Wait till they start to game plan for Davis when he has those 8-9 reception days. He's gonna go off. And he was once again the fastest player on the freaking team. He was clocked at 20.6 miles an hour. I said this 2 years ago when we had John Brown on the squad, and everybody was squawking about how fast John Brown was, which he is, but people didn't realize the fastest guy on the team that was clocked was the biggest deep threat. That was Gabe Davis. Yep. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves a big-time baller on the team, and I can't wait to see what is in store for the rest of the season. I got a super chat coming in from Truth to Hearts coming in. It says, hey, I understand the concern of running Allen, but about 5 of those runs were scrambles or options. But this was a playoff game. I doubt him running a lot will be a trend. And that could be the case because they slowed him down last year. Last year he had 400 yards rushing, give or take, maybe even less. I can't recall exactly.
No, I think he had well into 700, didn't he?
Was he up in 7? No, that was a couple years back. I got to go look at the stats.
You talk. I'll look it up.
Yeah. So I remember because there was a year that he had nearly 700 yards, and they dialed him down to 300-400 yards. I think last year they wanted to take that away. This year, I think it's going to be the same thing. They don't want him to do that. That's why we drafted a third running back in James Cook, which we'll get into James Cook in just a little bit. But when it comes to Allen running, like I said, it's part of his game. It's part of his repertoire. It's like telling, you know what I'm saying? It's like telling Lamar Jackson, fam, stay in the pocket, you know what I'm saying, and just throw. That's not part of Lamar Jackson's game. You've got to utilize both. That's how dangerous guys like him are. So when it comes to running the rock, you're probably right, Truth to Hearts. They're probably not going to make this a trend where they keep running him the way he did. I mean, he didn't go too crazy. It was 5 carries for 56 yards or something like that, or 10 for 56, something crazy. But anyway, I'm okay with the way they're doing it. What was his rushing? Are you looking at his rushing?
Yeah, it was last year, 763, and it on 122 attempts. And if you calculate it based on last night, he's well on his way to shattering those attempts because he had 10 last night. That's a 170 attempt clip.
I don't like it.
I mean, look, it is such a dilemma for me. Because like you mentioned earlier, which is dead on, if you take that away, you are eliminating a weapon that is lethal. And not only lethal, but is incredibly hard to find in a guy who's also one of the best passers in the league, right? I'm not asking to take it away. The concern I had is it felt later in the game, especially when it felt like they had it in hand, they continued to run him right up the middle. The problem I have with that is I think guys are now approaching Allen when he crosses the line of scrimmage with a tenacity that they don't approach many other guys with. Mm-hmm. He's pissing off everybody who's not a Buffalo Bill. And if you have an opportunity to hit him full stride, they're going to take it. And I understand, like you said, he feels indestructible. And I agree because he totally does feel that way. The problem is he's not. I'm all for the running. I just would like to see it be a bit more creative, perhaps, to avoid the hit. I'd like to see him go down, and I'd like to see it be used when it's most needed. Last night, towards the end of the game, I didn't think it was necessary.
Yeah, there was definitely one run where you're like, okay, we're up now. You don't need to be running him. Those are the type of plays that you risk getting your quarterback injured. We do have a request from a couple people now. My man Dave Cooley says, can you wear those boxers? Can you wear those overalls commando?
Of course you can. Are you kidding me?
I guess the question is, are you wearing commando? Do we want to know the answer?
The answer would be no. The answer would be no.
There we
Although
go.
I will say that they're a little oversized on the legs, so I'm interested to see how these kind of pan out in a game setting. I'm going to wear them this winter, so hopefully, they don't fall off of me because I bought the correct size, but they're big. But hey, I mean I can probably throw a few beers in there or something.
Buns out. That's what's going to be happening. Shout out to my man Jason says, hey Zebot. I guess
we're already shopping, Jay. We're already shopping.
You better not
start getting our bookings ready for February, Rico, right? After last night.
Love it.
Rico, my man RC3. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
My bad. My man RC3 comes in with another super chat, excuse me, says, can people put some mother effing respect on Tremaine's name? And what he's talking about is Tremaine Edmonds. Without him occupying the middle of the field, that game looks a lot different. Two things. I don't know if you want to jump in on this or do you want me to jump in on this comment here?
Oh, go for it.
Well, two things, RC3, and I appreciate the super chat, by the way. You're right. Tremaine does deserve his respect. He was our leading tackler yesterday. He had 10 total tackles. He had 7 solo on his own. Now, he wasn't giving us games like that last year. Why? Because we didn't really have the fortitude up front. We got it this year. So Tim Settle, Daquan Jones are holding up the front. Ed Oliver holding up the front. You know what I'm saying? So it allows our guy Tremaine Edmonds to play free. And maybe that's what we needed. We tried to get that last year, you know what I mean, by getting F.A. Obadas in there and so on and so on, but it just wasn't the right nucleus. I think now we have the right nucleus. We might see a better Tremaine Edmonds. Now, let me make one more point, and I gotta stress this. Don't forget, anytime these players are in contract years, what happens? They ball out. So we need to see this on a consistent basis. Maybe we'll see it. Maybe we won't. We're going to find out what kind of player he truly is. But I think Tremaine is a great talent, and it helps to have Daquan Jones and Tim Settle holding up the front and letting him play free. And that's exactly what happened with his 10 tackles, 7 solo. So salute to RC3 for that super chat. Listen, man, we're going to give him respect. Respect to Tremaine.
And it also helps be paired with Matt Milano, who I think had 2 or 3 of the most vicious hits on the entire football field last night. Every time that guy makes contact with you in the open field, I mean, I don't know how people get up. Matt Milano, a quiet night last night, maybe just based on the fact that the Rams had a tough time getting past the line of scrimmage. But every time he had an open field hit, I was just like, damn, man, I would not want to get hit by Matt Milano. Out of all the guys out on that field last night who would probably kill me if they got their hands on me, Matt Milano scared me the most.
Matt Milano can definitely lay the lumber. There was a play, it was Cam Akers going up the gut, and Matt just zeroed in, read the play, and knifed. And it wasn't like he didn't waste space. Right. He closed in, shuffled in, closed in, and knifed. And the way he hit Cam Akers, if for fantasy owners around the league, Cam Akers was an absolute bust. He was an absolute bust. I don't know what happened to Cam Akers. It was terrible. I gotta explain this because I don't know if you guys have caught on my Twitter. If you guys haven't, go to my Twitter right now, Rico_BF_. I played a clip. I was invited to a podcast called the TSS Fantasy, and I went up against an LA beat writer, and we played a game called Chumps versus Champs, right? They gave us a player, and we had to chump them or champion them, right? I got Josh Allen. I championed Josh Allen. They gave me a point for that. Then we went to the running back room, and he had to chump Devin Singletary. I had to chump Cam Akers. And I told him, Cam Akers isn't the name that you guys think he is. He's just he's statistically, collegially, he was great. Once he's come to the NFL, other than him busting his Achilles, he hasn't done anything. He didn't do anything in the playoffs, and he certainly didn't do anything against the Bills. And the Bills stifled that damn run game. Darrell Henderson had 47 yards rushing. Listen, Bills defense is for real. You know what I'm saying? And this run stopping game is what we needed because we know what happened against the Colts.
And we'll find out next Monday night. That's their first real test in that department as well. And to that point, though, Rico, just about how bad how bad the run game is for the Rams, perhaps how great Josh Allen is. Allen outrushed the entire Rams team, every player on the team. Yep, he outrushed them singly. So you want to talk about the culmination of a full team. That stat right there kind of shows you it.
Absolutely. Well, I got my man Pierre the Kingpin comes in and says, it's time to question if Jalen Ramsey is that guy. Now, listen, don't get ahead of ourselves, folks. Everybody knows that there are games where it's just a bad game. We didn't perform. It was one of those bad nightmares, and let's get over it, right? Ramsey may just not be that guy, pal. Not just that guy. Against the best in the league, he's been below average. Woo. Well, those are fighting words now.
Listen, he ain't that guy against Josh Allen, who's now 3-0 and has absolutely picked his ass apart. So I have to agree with Pierre to that standpoint because it's the only one I care about. Jalen Ramsey can go off against anybody else. Allen's been shredding his ass ever since he called him trash, which you love to see. And last night, by far, was the worst I've ever seen him get torched.
It was not a good day for them. And here's the thing, man. Like it's a lot of pressure. And listen, I don't want to use the excuse of a lot of pressure because there was a lot of pressure on the Bills, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody's touting them as the next team to be Super Bowl contenders, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But you have a team that won the Super Bowl. They're in LA. They got the Rock in there. They got all the stars in LA watching this game. They're unveiling their banners, and they have.
Which was weak, by the way. Wasn't that weak?
It was terrible. Listen, you're in LA. You can do it big. You know what I'm saying? Or stretch your asses up. So all that factored in. So they're feeling mighty high. But they forgot they had a fucking, you know what? I didn't want to cuss, but they forgot they had a damn football game to play. And guess what? The Bills came out and laid the lumber all up in LA. They enjoyed La La Land and headed back to Buffalo so we can get ready for the Titans. But boy, oh boy, is it ever exciting to have these Bills come out on a Thursday night at that. Thursday night where the whole league, the whole world is watching. This is the inaugural start of the league, and you get it off with a bang with a Buffalo Bills win. How do you root against the Bills? How do you root against them? It's hard to root against the Bills.
So, Rico, what I have been seeing, which is I love this, by the way. I love this because I know this feeling all too well. There are plenty of players throughout my lifetime that I absolutely hated for two reasons. One, they were incredibly good, way better than anything I could root for on my team. Two, every analyst, well, just say what it is. They call it dick riding. That's what they call it. They call it the dick riding. Everybody on Twitter last night who wasn't a Bills fan was pissed as hell at Chris Collinsworth for quote unquote dick riding Josh Allen. Now, mind you, this is a guy who I'm a Chris Collinsworth guy. I get flack for that, but the guy knows his stuff. And as far as color analysts are concerned, he's really, really good. Okay.
And he also makes excuses. And I'm going to talk on that. Just
you're right. But what I'm getting at here is he is known for perhaps not giving Josh Allen his due. Well, last night he said watching Josh Allen is the equivalent to him watching Tom Brady.
Ooh, was that ever a compliment?
And I did a double take on that one. And I've seen meme after meme after meme about how he said that and how I saw a guy earlier tweet and there was a ton of interaction on likes, retweets where it said, man, I didn't know I needed to hate Josh Allen, but I can't stand this dick riding. That's telling me Allen's becoming the guy that I used to hate because I ain't got him on my team and everybody loves him. And that kind of was on display last night.
But I will tell you, though, Josh Allen does some things that will piss a lot of people off, right? Sure. He does some things like the media does what the media do what they do. They do what they do. But Josh Allen has a bit of a nasty streak, which I love, especially because he's on my team. But he'll do little things that kind of piss people off. Case in point, Chiefs game. He gets sacked. I can't remember what it was. Yeah. He flicks the ball at dude's face. Oh, okay, so that's what it's going to be like. I don't know if you caught this last night. Right? Somebody else caught it and now started to circulate over Twitter. So it was a scrum where I don't know exactly what happened. And Allen's in the middle of the scrum and he's trying to get up and Jalen Ramsey is at the bottom and Allen sneakily pulled a whole thrusting in Jalen's face a little bit. I mean, it looks like he's trying to get out of the way.
Got it up?
You know what I'm saying? Oh, I don't know who posted it, but it's circulating. I'd love to find
Well,
it.
I know that when Diggs scored his touchdown, he pointed right at Ramsey.
Right in his face.
They gotta hate him, don't they? Doesn't it seem like it?
Do they
Oh,
ever?
by the way, Rico, speaking of which, the memes coming out. Did you see Ramsey post that? Like, dear God, he wrote out a dear God post, and people.
Boy, he went to TD Jakes and was like, TD, help me.
I saw a quote. It was like, Stephon Diggs made Jalen Ramsey seek out Jesus.
Listen, man, I'll tell you, Josh Allen and these Buffalo Bills, they're going to make a lot of people pissed off because they're pissing people off because A lot of people are talking about them. B, there's some obnoxious Bills fans that are relentless, and they will get, and we all know them and we love them, but we say sometimes you got to calm down. You know the homerism in them. So a lot of times they just hate that whole thing. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? Y'all got to get used to it. Y'all get used to it. Now, here's another thing too. When we lose, because we're going to lose, I mean, it's just what it is. Let's be real, because I personally don't want to go undefeated. I don't want to go undefeated. I want us to taste an L or two so we know, okay, that's what that feels like. We don't want to feel that anymore, right? You saw what happened to the freaking Patriots. Patriots went all the way through and then lose when it really counts. We don't want that. We want these guys to be ready. But boy, are we going to be started to get hated on. And sometimes it feels good to be the bad guy. Feels good to be the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? Are we going to be Razor Ramon? Tossing, you know what I'm saying? Tossing toothpicks at everybody. I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. But Bobby Glean comes in with a super chat and he says, hey, that Allen to Diggs back shoulder throw on Ramsey. That's when I knew that, yep, we want all the smoke. Also, Jay Phillips, Jordan Phillips, OMG.
No doubt.
I'll let you talk on Jordan Phillips. And I'm going to go on that back shoulder throw because that was something that.
Yeah. Well, that should have been illegal, what they did to Jalen Ramsey on that throw. I mean, just the perfection of it all was just grotesque, honestly. Jordan Phillips, let's just talk about the D-line and kind of a totality here and how Jordan Phillips fits in. One, you want an example of what spending money on the adequate players looks like last night. And you look no further than Von Miller and Jordan Phillips. I mean, last night, Jordan Phillips' presence on a 1-year deal to bring him in to spark this team, he was as good of a player on defense last night as anybody out on that field, and there were some studs on the defensive side of the ball for both teams last night. Jordan Phillips was a problem. This defensive line with the introduction of Von Miller, it is everything that we could have imagined and more. Now, granted, last night was a sample size, but it's a sample size that we needed to see. This defensive line was the one thing that we felt had kept the Bills away from the promised land. And what they did in the offseason to build it up to what many people were looking at as one of the better D-lines in the league as far as depth is concerned. Last night was a critical opportunity to prove just how good it was. Rico, Jordan Phillips, alongside the rest of the clan down there on the D-line, accounted for 7 sacks and 15 quarterback hits on no blitzes the entire night. They didn't blitz once. They rushed 4, and they sacked his ass 7 times, and Jordan Phillips was in on, I believe, 2 of them. Unbelievable.
Let me jump in more on that because I'm going to get a little more specific. So we went after freaking Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford was pressured nonstop. And let me tell you, guess who was the leading player to put the pressure on Mr. Stafford himself? That's Jordan Phillips. Jordan Phillips had 6 freaking pressures on that. So that's 26%. 26% of the pressures that we put on that, that's Jordan Phillips. Ladies and gentlemen, Jordan Phillips, there was a quote, and I'm going to try to find it. And I mean, salute to my man, Bobby, because Bobby's been super active on IG. And I had to steal a couple things from a man. And there was a couple really nice quotes coming from Coach. And I can't seem to find it, and it's all good. But what I'm going to paraphrase here is there's something about Buffalo that resonates extremely well with Jordan Phillips. And he's just meant to be here. And the energy that he gets from the fans, he puts out onto the team, and they just go. Now, I want to jump on this Jalen Ramsey and Stephon Diggs, that back shoulder throw. Now, like you said, somebody got to be arrested. I don't know if it's Diggs, right? I don't know if it's put them both in jail for that shit. Because listen, you can't do stuff like that and walk away scot-free.
Oh my God!
You can tell that play was something that they can close their eyes and pitch and catch. It was the timing was absolutely perfect. Perfect. It was look, glance, pitch. It was like they do it all the way and keep moving. Like, you know, in camp, you make a play, keep it moving. And that's the way we kept on going. I absolutely love what we did. And the fact that we went right at Jalen Ramsey, the biggest bully on the squad. I mean, other than Aaron Donald, and we can talk about Aaron Donald in just a little bit, but you go at the bully. You go at the best player and see where you got it. And I'm going to tell you, there's a clip that's out there. And I am absolutely, I hear about injecting that shit into people's veins. Inject is this into my veins. I don't know if you guys have seen it. My man, Stephon Diggs is sitting on the bench and somebody's getting on him, right? And I don't know what's happening. And he's hearing it and he kind of turns around. I'll make it look like I'm talking to the fans. So he's sitting on the bench like this. Then he turns around and he goes, they must not know who I am. You got me all effed up. When he said that and you do this, it's over. You knew that it was a wrap. So,
well, don't you remember when he pointed at all the Patriots fans, and then that was he's that guy, man. And
you.
Yeah,
love every bit of it. Now let's talk about it because we're talking about all these great things. And I got to, I mean, speaking of great things, that 100K rejuvenated OG Bobby Ray, he definitely was rejuvenated. He's up in there. Silas comes in with a super chat, says, Rico says, stop being obnoxious Bills fans after all the jokes of 4th straight in 13 seconds. No, Rico, all these people are going to get this work all season. Yo, Silas.
Hell yeah, Silas. No, you got to be as obnoxious as possible this season. Take advantage of it while you can, man. I know, sure as hell I am. Look at my outfit, for God's sake. This is the definition of obnoxious. Are you nuts?
Yo, Silas ain't lying, man, because we've been ridiculed for so damn long. Yeah. It's like now we get to freaking let's let it pop.
Yeah.
So let me slow things down a little bit because I'm having fun. By the way, we got 488 people following us right now and viewing this right now on a Friday night when you guys could be partying. It's near we're probably at the end of summer. You know what I'm saying? So you guys could be out anywhere, but you guys are here with us. So we appreciate you. While you guys are here, smash that like for the outfit that my man Z-Bot.
Oh, come on. Do a little bit more than that. Why don't you hit the bell as well while you're there, for God's sake?
You know what?
A little bit more than that. Come on now.
Let's
hit
go.
The bell, the subscribe, the like, the whole nine. Come on, man.
The whole freaking nine. And if you guys have not joined the Bing Squad, Bing Biggity Bing, join the Bing Squad right now. Just at the bottom where the chat is, there's a little $sign. If you want to join, you can actually donate if you want to, or you can join the Bing Squad and be part of the Bing Squad. And you guys have an opportunity sometimes to maybe call in and really voice that. We might even take some calls today. Z-Bot, you take calls today?
Well, by the way, and it's something I wanted to talk about because it's funny you mentioned that. Shout out my man Bartek365 on Twitter. We chat now and then, and he reached out today and said, "Man, I can't
Polish wonder."
I know. He said, "Man, I can't wait for the smoke break Monday." I said, "You don't have to wait, my friend. We're live tonight." And he said, "Man, you guys got to start doing phone calls because it would be an honor to speak to you and Rico." And I said, "Well, we are working on that, and it's something we'd love to do. So if that's something that interests you guys, we are definitely looking into hopefully getting that going soon."
We can do that today.
Can we do that tonight?
Listen, we can do that today. Now, here's how you can call in if you want to call in. You got to be part of the Bing Squad. If you guys are part of it, Pierre, I know you there. Put that number right up in the community chat on YouTube. Community chat, put it out there. If you're part of the Bing Squad, you have that access to call in right here. I'll take your phone call. You get to go nuts, balls to the wall. Now, let us go through our segment, and then once we say that the lines are open, y'all can call in. Now, Z-Bot, I need your help here, folks. I need Z-Bot's help here. The good, the bad, the ugly. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of good.
Yes.
I mean, I think we can talk about the good at length.
You better get a coffee in you, man. We could go to 9 a.m. on the good.
Well, let's talk about it. Well, listen, we talked about Josh Allen. We talked about Stephon Diggs. Is there something that stood out to you that was good? I mean, and I should change it to great. You know what I'm saying? But the good, the bad, the ugly, that's just what it is. Now, is there something that was good to you that we have not touched on?
Yes.
And that most people should be talking about right now with these Bills?
Couple of things overall that I thought were good that were beyond the obvious. One being, and I mentioned this earlier, but not to the extent of who exactly took advantage of it. The Von Miller presence on this team, it was felt immediately in the offseason, and I was one who felt beyond his impact on the field, which, by the way, was tremendous last night. His impact is going to be even greater as far as the knowledge and presence that he passes on to his teammates. Last night was the most dominant I've probably seen AJ Epinesa since he's been on the team. And Greg Rousseau was also a complete force
Yep.
last night. On top of that, Jordan Phillips, as good as advertised. That whole D-line in itself, Rico, last night, if you want to take one thing away, the Bills were able to turn the ball over 4 times and not break a sweat because of how great that defense played, in particular, the defensive line. It was just through the charts incredible. The other thing that I really enjoyed last night, as far as the good is concerned, you can look right at the slot receiver position, and for 2 reasons. One, Jamison Crowder is a guy I was excited to bring on this team, but we know it was very under the radar. Not many people talked about it. Many people forgot he was even on the team. And last night, I thought for his first outing as a Bill, he was a reliable target who had 3 catches that were, tremendous for Buffalo as far as getting down the field. He was a reliable target in the slot. And then, of course, another good that I have to say, because I just feel obligated for how much I love this guy, Isaiah McKenzie. He matches his touchdown total of last season at just 1 last night, and he did a gender reveal in the end zone as a celebration. Isaiah McKenzie, he is just, you have to love the guy. Me and Rico, how many times do we have this conversation? You're probably, looking at us beating a horse right now, just the fact that I'm even bringing it up again. But we said Isaiah McKenzie is good enough to be a force on this team. Last night, he had an incredible jumping catch on the sideline, and then he gets in the end zone again. First time this season, and it matched as many times as he got in there last year. So, Rico, always happy for Isaiah McKenzie. But with the departure of Cole Beasley, I think we're in good hands with Jamison Crowder and Isaiah McKenzie in that slot spot.
I absolutely love the fact that you brought up the gender reveal. I thought that was great. Now it was a bit confusing because there was a clown that jumped on the field and I guess was doing his own gender reveal and put a little smoke and it was pink. So we're like, what is it, a boy or a girl? But that was an absolute wonderful moment of just letting people know, and his family just going crazy as a boy. That's crazy. We're gonna have 2 little dirties that are gonna be walking around. So that's amazing. Now we're talking about the good. And I love, and listen, I gotta get to the super chats, my friend, before we get to the good. Continue to get into the good. Scott Blakely, what up, Scotty? Scotty comes in and says, "Yo, why call 2 timeouts at the end of the game? Why run Moss so much when Singletary had the hot hand? Allen post interviews are different. He has the edge, still political, but a huge edge. Do you notice? You damn right we noticed. Everything you said, we noticed. The 2 timeouts at the end, not necessary." Why run Moss so much? We can get into that because the good, the bad, the ugly. We're going to get into that, Scott Blakely. Don't try to ruin our show, bro. But we love it because you're bringing up things that is definitely something that needs to be talked about. Now, we do have more super chats. I gotta go to my man, David Rizza. What's up, Dave? Dave says, hey, talking about being obnoxious Bills fans, we need to scream our heads off when we go to these games. There is no reason we can't get the world record for the loudest stadium. Well, there's a lot.
Monday night's going to be a problem. I don't know if any of you in here are going. I'm sure you are. I'll tell you what, it's going to be a scene next Monday night.
It is going to be a freak. Listen, this is something that I was hoping that we could be there, but it's not going to look. It's looking like
we're going to get it done. I know. I wish it just didn't work out.
I know, but you know what? Pittsburgh Steelers game. I'm telling you, we might. I already bought my ticket for the flight, so it's happening. It's happening. So.
I like that. I like the sound of that.
Yo, cut it out. Now, the good. I'm gonna go somewhere with this. We know Josh Allen's great. We know Stephon Diggs is good. We talked about how good Ken Dorsey was, but there was a number on this field that stood out to me, and this individual is I'm starting to get excited about this individual, and every time I see this number flash on the screen, it gives me a flashback of somebody else. But I'm realizing it's Carlos Basham wearing number 55. Carlos Basham was excellent yesterday. He was getting after the quarterback with just fresh legs. Right? That's what we needed from Jerry Hughes, right? Jerry Hughes wasn't giving us that because obviously he's a little older. We get that part, right? But when you got,
I thought it was Jerry Hughes. I had no idea he was wearing 55 either. I go to my dad. I go, who the hell is that?
I'm telling you, he's making us remember. Holy crap!
Yeah,
55 was Jerry Hughes, and it's like a reincarnation of the Jerry Hughes that we once had years back. And the back down, the interception, this was lovely. Carlos Basham, I'm so excited for this guy, man. He is going to be listen. The rotational pieces that we have in the squad. I'm against it still. I'd love to have my best players on the field, but I understand it. We got a lot of dogs. Bing bong. We got a lot of dogs on the field. So we've got to let these dogs have, get a sip, what I'm saying, and get after it again. We're going to let you off the leash. So I guess I'm going to have to just accept the fact that this is how it's going down. So keeping on the good. Were you how impressed? I guess we could say, how impressed were you with number 21? Now, I got to say, man, I'm disappointed that there's the financial part is not taken care of. But boy, is this guy a dog on our squad. Jordan Poyer. I absolutely love Jordan Poyer, man. And it's a shame that it's not getting taken care of. It's not saying it's over, but man, I would love for something to happen. How did you feel about Jordan Poyer's I guess his ability to just be present? You know what I'm saying? Where he's supposed to be at all times. How'd you feel about that?
It always makes me feel like I'm in secure hands every time we go against a quarterback that I believe has the ability to get the ball down the field against the Bills. Matt Stafford being one of them. Obviously, if you're playing against a lesser than quarterback, it doesn't really bother me as far as who's out in the field, who isn't. But when we look at how great this Bills pass defense has been, and the one thing that's bothered me all offseason here, because a lot of people who want to suppress the expectations of the Bills, what's the one thing they always say, Rico? Well, they're missing their star corner, Tre'Davious White, and I think that's going to be a real Achilles heel in week 1. Do you realize he went down in against New Orleans in this Bills? That was about right at the halfway point, a little after it. This Bills. Yeah, it was Thanksgiving. The Bills' defense still rode out the remainder of the season, the number 1 pass defense in the league. By the way, just wait till Tre'Davious White gets back. If you thought last night was great. But what they've been able to do, and when I say they, I mean Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer, they have been able to make us forget about the fact that Tre'Davious White isn't on that field. Usually with a guy as good as Tre'Davious White, the impact of him not being out there would be immediately noticeable. Good luck trying to figure it out when you have Poyer and Hyde out there. Now, at times when the corners get targeted one-on-one, it can be more noticeable than others. But when this tandem goes out on the field, Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde, I always feel secure that this defense is going to be able to handle the best of the quarterbacks going after them down the field. And last night, another example. And like you said, the contract isn't taken care of. Didn't do himself any harm last night, to say the least. Let's say that after that interception seals the game. Jesus Christ, Caroline, you know I'm live. Caroline. No, Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde, I think when you think about this Bills defense, you immediately think of those two, and you immediately think nothing other than the fact that they are the best safety tandem in the league. And last night, we saw it again. They did nothing through the air, Rico. Outside of Cooper Kupp, who he does that against everybody. They didn't do a damn thing.
Let me tell you something. I'm laughing my ass off right now because Allen Robinson was non-existent. He's on my fantasy team. Shout out to my fantasy team. Where right now we're looking decent, but he did absolutely nothing. And the joke right now is Matthew Stafford is not looking at any of the black receivers. He's just looking at Cooper Kupp and Stojkovic or whoever the other receiver was. That's the meme that's going out there. I thought that was freaking hilarious. It's actually funny to me. But speaking, and you mentioned something about securing. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's nice to have secure. Did you guys secure your bets yesterday? Did you guys have any parlays?
I know I did.
Did you guys have anything? Did you guys listen? If you guys aren't part of it, I'm gonna take we're gonna take a small commercial break, but I'm gonna let you guys in on something. BF 125. That's all I'm going to say. I'll let you see this video first.
Football is back, and so is BetUS.com for our 28th year of NFL action. With live in-game betting, incredible odds with daily odds boosters, props, parlays, fast payouts, and exceptional customer service, BetUS has it all. Sign up today at BetUS.com. BetUS, where the game begins.
That voice is so soothing. I can fall asleep to that.
I'll tell you what. I was just gonna say that VO guy. He's got to lay off the darts, man. Holy shit.
So let's get right into it. We talked about the good. I mean, dude, we can go like you said. You pull up a freaking pot of coffee. We could talk about the good all day. Now let's get to. Now it's getting a little tougher. Let's talk about the bad. What in this game? And I need the help from the crowd. I need the help from people that are viewing this again. You know what I'm saying? What stood out to you that that's bad? We can't have that. What about you, Zach? Give me a start.
It pains me, man, because I feel for the kids so badly. This is a huge moment. It's just a massive moment. Thursday night, NFL opener. You're a second-round pick, and the Bills look at you to take over your running back room at some point. And they gave you the opportunity last night to get in the rotation because ultimately the way Singletary played and has looked throughout the offseason as well as Zach Moss, James Cook might not have to be in the rotation at this point being a rookie. They give him the opportunity, and Rico, on his first NFL carry, he fumbles away the ball. And no matter how good James Cook pans out, the reason I feel terrible for him is it's always going to be reminded the first time he ever took a snap, he fumbled the ball. And at that point, Rico, the Bills had not shown that they were going to run away with this game yet. That was a critical fumble in that moment. The Bills were going to score on that drive because they gave us no reason not to think they would. And in his first opportunity in the NFL, Rico, he fumbles it away. And in classic Sean McDermott fashion, because we saw him do this with Isaiah McKenzie last year, his ass sat the bench the rest of the game. And I'll be honest with you, Rico, I wouldn't be surprised if that carried into next week and even a little bit further. That was, how, like you said with McDermott and the rookies, it's also McDermott and guys who make mistakes. McKenzie, he barely touched the field again at all last year after that fumble against the Colts.
It was tough.
That was a bad fumble for James Cook last night.
I gotta listen, man. I mean, I gotta get it. Listen, I can't sit away and not be honest and real. You guys know how I am. I love this team, but I'm glad you hit on that. James Cook, we drafted you in the second round. You know what I'm saying? And people have high hopes for you, and you have skeptics like myself. I'm still skeptical, and that does not help the case. Now, there was a tweet put out there by I think Joe DiBiase. It makes me want to think of Ted DiBiase. I don't know if there's a playoff of that, but anyway, for you wrestling fans, you guys know what I'm talking about. So, Joe DiBiase was like, "Listen, man." Pretty much telling us calm down because there are a lot of guys on their first touches that they fumbled. One of them was a Danian Tomlinson. He started going off and on all the good, solid running backs and some Hall of Famers that have fumbled on their first touch. We get it. You know what I'm saying? But to me, you're making excuses. I don't want to hear that stuff because it's not like he came in like he's the top dog. I don't think he's the top dog that came out of that draft. So he's got to prove it to a lot of us, right? But granted, it's the first touch. He's got to learn from it. Coach even talked on it. He says, hey, when guys fumble like that, you got to sit them down so they can cool off a little bit and kind of give them an opportunity to, you know what I'm saying, be hungry to get back into it again. I'm paraphrasing here. So I get best time, and I'm going to sit on that. I love that you brought him up. I'm going to jump in on something here. The bad for me. And it's tough for me to say because there wasn't a lot of bad. Yeah. But I question the fact that, and it's a good and bad. It's a bit, but like Kaiir Elam, we drafted you in the first round. The first round, we didn't just draft you in the first round. We traded up for you. And I guess they're saying, well, we're gonna in and out and come. You don't have a number one cornerback when you're going back and forth, right? When you have two quarterbacks, you have no quarterbacks. I need my first round. That's one of my favorites. I need my first round corner to be on the field. So when Trey White gets there, it's going to be my first round corner, you know what I'm saying, and Trey White. Now we're looking at Dane Jackson, which I'm very pleased with, you know what I'm saying, with Trey, but I'm puzzled. I'm puzzled to see Kaiir Elam, you know what I'm saying? I'm puzzled to see Kaiir Elam get beat out by Christian Bedford. Now, don't get me wrong, Christian Bedford is a dog, but that's not, we should have drafted Christian Bedford. You know what I'm saying? We could have drafted somebody else. But I'm watching this very closely. Kaiir, I'm a fan, man. I need you to step your game up so you can reclaim where you're supposed to be. But Christian Bedford said, hey, man, you bleed the same way I bleed. I sweat the same way you sweat. After the draft is done, yo, you're on your own. I'm on my own. We got to do what we got to do. And right now, Christian Bedford made the most of it. So we'll see how that keeps playing out. But, boy, that's got me kind of
no doubt. I mean, how about last night, Rico? Probably the two most promising rookies coming into the season were Kaiir Elam and Khalil Shakir, and neither one of them impact the game last night at all, or don't even get an opportunity to. Very head scratching. But you know what, Rico, like we were talking about pregame yesterday, it didn't make a lick of difference. I don't care if it's Christian Bedford or you and me out there playing the DB 1 and 2, man. If they're going to do what they did last night, you can throw anybody out there. I could care.
I'm with you on that. Now, is there anything
point real quick? Christian Benford, you got to tip your cap. I mean, that's a dog getting that spot, man. Like, good for him.
And that's why it was like a bit. It's like, I'm not trying to poo-poo, but I'm also like good and bad, right? Is there anything else that stood out to you that maybe you say, "Ooh, that's not good. That's bad."
Tyler Bass, I love you. There's nobody who's more of a fan than you. I love him. And I mean, God, how great has he been for us? He is a machine. Can we have that be the last time you kick the ball out of bounds, especially when you are?
I agree.
In a stadium like that, there's no excuse.
No win.
Guess what, Rico? Guess what? That's the only time the Rams scored a touchdown all day long, when they gifted him the ball at the 40-yard line. Had Bass booted that deep, I mean, that just goes to show you again. I mean, the fact that happened and they turned the ball over 4 times and they won 31-10. I don't think people quite realize how truly gruesome last night could have been. And that was just one example. The reason the Rams scored a touchdown is because that was quite literally the best field position they had all day. So Tyler Bass, I love you. You're rarely on my list of criticisms. Please have that be the last time, because there's no excuse to gift the team a 40-yard penalty like that. It is the worst penalty that you can commit in the NFL.
I don't like it. I didn't like it. I was like, what? And it was so weird. You're like, of all people that
I know, it's so unexpected.
Oh, come on, Bass, you know better than that. I don't know what it is. Who knows? But anyway, we're gonna move on. We went the good, the bad. I mean, the ugly, and I think we're both gonna agree on what the ugly was. I mean, let's just both say it. It's the freaking 4 turnovers. We just can't do that, fellas. We can't give the ball up. And the crazy thing is, teams that give the ball up 4 times, they're supposed to lose, right? And if they win, they're probably coming back. You know what I'm saying? To squeak a victory. We absolutely mopped the floor. We beat the brakes off the damn Rams with 4 turnovers. Unfreaking real. Those 4 turnovers, I gotta say, it's not great. I mean, I gotta say one more thing though that was good. And I mean, I gotta put the banner back up. We went 9 for 10 on 3rd down conversions.
Yeah, we did.
9 for 10.
Not punt once.
Dude.
Again.
Unfreaking real.
You want to know why, Rico, though? Because only, I think, 2 or 3 of those 3rd down attempts were beyond 7 yards. They were putting themselves in a position all game long to get obtainable 3rd downs. And then so you want to talk about more of, Ken Dorsey and how he played out last night. There you go. I mean, he put them in a position almost every play to continue to move the ball down the field.
Absolutely. And I'm going to even double down on that. Chris Brown, one of the reporters for the Bills, actually had a breakdown on the 3rd down. We went 9 for 10 on 3rd downs. And check this out. On every 3rd down, these are the plus positives that we had on these plays. 3rd and 1, Davis, 26-yard touchdown. 3rd and 4, Diggs, 10 yards plus. 3rd and 2, Davis, 10 yards. 3rd and 4, the incomplete to Davis, which was the kind of tug on the side, and he almost had that. He just out of the grass. We could have went 10 for 10, 100%, right? Let me keep going. Diggs, 3rd and 7, Diggs on a 10-yarder. 3rd and 8, Allen, 8 yards, 8-yard rush. 3rd and 5, Crowder for the 6-yarder. 3rd and 7, 47 yards to freaking Gabriel Davis. 3rd and 4. We don't give a damn what down and distance it is.
Hell no.
We getting that 1st down. I call my man Sam Morris. See, he's so new, I'm not even getting his name down right. Sam Martin he wasn't even considered a punter yesterday. Do you know what they had him considered as? They had an H next to his name. You know what that meant?
I honest to God,
Holder.
I know. I looked at my dad, Rico, and I go, Dad, what the hell is the punter's name again? I swear to God, I completely forgot.
I'm telling you, man, this was one of those things, man. So for real, if we're getting back to it, like ugly, the 4 turnovers. I mean, I can't really think of anything else that was ugly other than, listen, it was.
Well, someone said something funny in here, which I don't mind touching on for a second. What's going on in the back of Von's head? What is that?
See, Vaughn, I don't like to try, but he's done that before where he just puts a patch of a patch of hair at the back of his head. I don't know if he's trying to channel his inner Theo Huxtable when Theo had that rat tail at the back. I mean, for the old school cats, I know about Theo Huxtable and that little rat tail. There was a phase back in the day that the rat tail was in. I mean, maybe that's what he's trying to do, trying to grow it out a little bit. But yeah, that triangle at the back of the head, I'm puzzled. But this is the new age, right? We're talking about Zubaz overalls, Zubaz freaking bucket hats.
Welcome to the future. Welcome to the future, baby.
It works out. Welcome to the future.
Honest to God, I swear to maybe I shouldn't because of how good the chances are, but I'll do that. I'll shave my head into a triangle. The Bills win the Super Bowl. I don't give a damn.
Let's calm down. I'm not going to let you do that to yourself. Let's just relax. And let's just let
I would do it. If I had to do it, I'll say this. If I had to do it for you guys and myself, I would.
You would do it. I love it. Well, listen, we talk about the good, we talk about the bad, and we talk about the ugly. Well, there's a segment that I just love to jump in on this. And I usually do this solo. So this is going to be nice to have somebody do it with me. Milk carton alert. Ladies and gentlemen, the milk carton alert. You guys know the drill. Who was missing? Was there somebody that stood out to you? And we may have touched on it again, and it's okay to touch on it again. But the milk carton alert, right? This goes to the person that we got to put an APB out. Where'd you go?
Okay, I got one.
Where? Oh, you got one? Let me get my man Z-Bot in there. Milk carton alert. Z-Bot, talk on it.
And I don't know how much of a indictment this is on him, because I just don't know if the targets were really there or the game plan surrounded him. But I was expecting more out of Dawson Knox last night, and they didn't really utilize Dawson Knox as well as he's played, as great as he was in the playoffs, in particular in the Patriots game. God, as incredible of a season as he had last year, leading the league in touchdowns at the tight end position. He is a tremendous young tight end who we are seeing getting better with each year. And of course, they just extend him this week. Was really hoping to see Knox get more involved, Rico. And like I said, not sure if that's necessarily his fault or not, but even if it isn't his fault, I would like to think that Dorsey and or Allen would look to get Knox involved more, because he is a pivotal part of this offense.
You know what? That's a really good one. Do you have a milk carton note that you want to give out to the LA Rams? Is there one that stands out to you?
Oh my God. I mean, how do you not give it to well, first of all, is it, what the hell is this? Well, first of all, we got to say Cam Akers, right? I mean, because holy crap. You know how many guys I got to hear from? Yeah, the amount of guys I got to hear from talking about their fantasy, I can't get over it. But let's talk about probably the most egregious as far as milk carton is concerned. Allen Robinson, he's supposed to come in and be the new OBJ. He's going to take over for Robert Woods. I saw a stat, Rico. He was on the field for 65 of the 67 snaps for the Rams offense.
Absolutely.
He was targeted twice. Matt Stafford, there is no excuse. I understand how good Cooper Kupp is, but you saw last night, he can have an MVP night, and it doesn't matter. You got to get the rest of the team involved. And Allen Robinson, you bring him in to be the guy and target him twice. Bad look for LA last night.
I completely agree, and I have him on my freaking fantasy team. I thought, you know what? They're going to give all the attention to freaking Cooper Kupp. Here comes Allen Robinson, and they do absolutely nothing with him. Now, I love the fact that you went Allen Robinson and came here, because you double whammied. I love that.
I'll even triple. Before you got one, I just want to say, because I doubt you have this. I'll say Sean McVay.
Oh, you were going to take my shit.
Oh, sorry. Go. I'm glad you had it.
I'm gonna put Sean McVay on that freaking milk carton alert. This was the young savant, the young protege, only 36 years old, 37 years old, youngest head coach to ever win a Super Bowl, youngest head coach this and that, 32 points a game on home openers and season openers. Where the were you, my friend?
Oh my!
They counted on you. They count on you to call plays. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna stop there. I'm gonna go to Raheem Morris, Radio Raheem Morris. What? I respect this young man. And your defense did not show up. We put up 31, and it could have been worse. Raheem Morris, the whole coaching staff for the LA Rams, where the F for y'all? Y'all deserve to be on that milk carton. Y'all went missing. Now, let me go back to my Bills, right? Dawson Knox was a great selection, by the way, right? Where the heck was Dawson Knox? I love that. Now,
I know I missed him. I love some Knox, man.
I like that. I'm not gonna naturally. It's gonna be a weird way I'm gonna do this, but I'm not gonna go specific player. I'm gonna go to a philosophy. Right? Put this philosophy on there. The running back room, you have Devin Singletary, which is your clear best running back. And it was clear yesterday, right? It was clear, right? You have Zach Moss, which had a really good camp. I'm not going to lie. He stood out. He's healthy. He's looking good, right? And then you got James Cook, the unfortunate fumble. But if you have the hot hand in Devin Singletary, continue to go to Devin Singletary. I like the running back room. I like Zach Moss, but I got to get on my man, Zach Moss. Fam, if you're trying to, not get traded because it's not over, you could potentially, you just never know, or B, trying to get yourself a long-term contract, you can't put the ball on the turf, especially when you didn't have a big statistical game, my G. Devin Singletary is the best back on the squad. It looked like it yesterday. Continue to go with the hot hand. So, Mr. Aaron Cromer, Mr. freaking Ken Dorsey, gentlemen, if he's got the hot hand, keep him in. The only time that man should come out if he says, I need a breather. You know what I'm saying? I need a freaking breather. That's the only time he come out. So milk carton alert goes to the philosophy to keep rotating the running backs when the clear running back is Devin Singletary. Leave that man in. Leave that man in. Milk carton alert goes to that. I think that was actually, I love the fact that he went Dawson Knox not because he's no good. The guy just got himself a contract extension.
Yeah.
It's just that it wasn't in the game for him. It wasn't in the plans. So it's one of those situations where, you know what, next game, his number might get called multiple times, but we're talking about the Rams game. We're talking about what happened yesterday, and there you have it.
I think we're letting Sean McVay off the hook a little bit too much.
Keep going on his ass, man.
That was, and I even said going into the week, I said if the Rams were going to win this game, it was going to be because of Sean McVay. Not only had he never lost a week one opener, but that's the first time in his career that he has now fallen under 500. He's never been below 500 in his whole coaching career. And I said, when I'm talking about coaches, and like I said about Knox, no indictment to him because of how good he's been, and I don't know how much of his fault it was last night not being involved. This isn't an indictment against Sean McDermott either. I just think McVay is kind of a one-on-one guy, and we've seen that. And if it were up to comparing coaches, there's not a person right now who doesn't take McVay over McDermott. It's just a reality, right? Well, last night he got his ass handed to him coaching, not only on the field. The last time we played the Rams and Sean McVay, he had an incredible halftime adjustment to get the Rams out of almost a 21-point deficit or something like that. I forget the exact number, to take the lead and almost beat the Bills. Last night they go into the locker room tied 10-10, and they lay an egg the whole second half and lose 31-10. Sean McVay, that was as bad of a start as you could have possibly had after winning the Super Bowl.
I can't agree. I can't agree. I'm glad you put a little more salt on that because
it's just that, everybody, including myself sometimes, but everybody, it's bow to our Lord and Savior Sean McVay, and I get it. I mean, he is great.
He is.
It's just last night there was nothing great about it. And Rick, I don't know if you noticed, but even the game planning, it was so vanilla and uninspired. When they came out, their first drive on offense, it was like they were begging to go 3 and out. Very weird out of them last night.
It was a little weird. Now, you mentioned Collinsworth earlier today, and I think we all like Collinsworth. Collinsworth, he's been doing this a long time. He's seasoned. He knows what he's doing. But there was one point where Stephon Diggs absolutely toast. He just blew right by. You know what I'm saying, Mr. Jalen Ramsey. And then here comes Collinsworth. Well, it looks like Jalen Ramsey was looking for the safety help around. No, sir. This was a zone. This was a deep coverage. That is his zone. That quarters is his. That's the back. Listen, if your receiver it now turns into man-to-man. That zone turns into man-to-man. But my man was peeking. He's peeking in the end zone, thinking that Josh Allen wasn't going to throw it deep. Are you kidding me? You got one of the biggest arms in the league, and you don't think he's going to try to light your ass up when they've been lighting your ass up all freaking game long? Shame on Jalen Ramsey, and I had to put that out there. Now, I do want to bring something else up. Quite interesting. So you mentioned it earlier, Khalil Shakir being inactive on the inactive list. Were you kind of surprised with how the inactive list came out?
Yeah, that was interesting to me. I just didn't understand why. I mean, they kept 5 linebackers and 5 running backs. And to me, as much as I thought Khalil Shakir impressed in the offseason, I did not quite get why you wouldn't at least have him active and at your disposal. Yeah, it definitely made me scratch my head.
Well, here's the thing, and I started thinking about it. I'm like, what? Why would they jump in and do that? It doesn't make any sense to me. Now, before I get into my point, I gotta give a shout out to my man, our guy Jeff King. What up, Jeff? Jeff King. What's up, Jeff? Jeff says, hey, Sean McVay looked great last year because we missed the Super Bowl last year. We should be the ones raising that effing banner. And you know what?
Jeff.
We all freaking agree with you, Jeff. We should be. We the one. Listen, this was on clear display that who was supposed to win the damn thing and who's supposed to freaking be the ones hosting the home game on Thursday Night Football. But you know what? That's neither here nor there. We already know what's really good. Now, back to the point I'm trying to make here, because it's very interesting on this inactive list. So we had Khalil Shakir on the inactive list, right? And we activated all 5 running backs, Tywan Jones, Reggie Gillen with the fullback, and then we had our 3 running backs, Cook, Moss, and Singletary. And then we had Jamison Crowder and McKenzie and Khalil out. Now, last year, week 1, do you remember who was inactive? Zach Moss. Yes. Zach Moss was the one that was inactive. We went with the passing passing flow, right? Trying to change things up. Next game is going to be a little different. I have a feeling that this game was supposed to tell us who deserves it, who's going to earn their right to be on the field. And looking at the running back room, it's tough to sit here and say, Zach Moss or James Cook deserve to be activated next week because they didn't take full advantage of their play, right? James Cook could easily be the one that's deactivated. Now, the fact that we had a punt return in Jamison Crowder, we all thought it was going to be Khalil Shakir returning punts. So I have a feeling that it's going to be deactivation of a running back and a reactivation of Khalil Shakir, and then we'll see how they rotate on this whole punt return and slot receiver, because don't forget, Jamison Crowder's a slot, Isaiah McKenzie's a slot, and you have Khalil Shakir that can play inside and outside. So it's going to be very interesting on what they play. So pay attention to that dynamic. They like Balen Spector. Balen Spector was active. So very interesting nonetheless. We're going to see how this plays out. It's a week-to-week thing. It's a matchup situation. We're going up against King Henry. We're going up against who else is out? I think Treylon Burks is out there. You mean Bobby Trees is out there. Robert Woods. So very
revenge game, no doubt. The Titans have gotten the best of us the last couple of times, and last one sat with me for a while. That one made me sick, man. I can't wait for Monday night.
I hear you. Well, listen, Johnny's coming in with a super chat and says, "Hey, Z-Bot, can you tell us where you got that beautiful helmet shirt from? Saw a guy with one at the game, and I need one. Please tell me."
You know what's funny? I saw a guy on TV who had one. And Carolina loved this because she's getting a shout out to her favorite store as she's in here pretending to know what football is, saying, "Yep, Moss less than." Johnny, guess where the hell I got that shirt from? Abercrombie and Fitch.
You lie.
Swear, right hand to God, I got that shirt at Abercrombie, and you want to know what I said? I go, "Hey, we've made it, baby. The Bills got a damn shirt in Abercrombie. I mean, what are we doing?" That's usually like Steelers, Raiders, Cowboys. So
I like it.
No word of a lie, Johnny. Swear to God, go to Abercrombie and they'll have it. And I can't stress this enough. The nicest quality Bills shirt I own. It's like the material is off the chain. So go snag one. And I should get some commission like I do every night on here. Like, why are we not getting our commission, Rico?
Listen, man, we are sitting here talking about Chick-fil-A. I was on my
we got the grills going, Arby's, the shirts.
It's all over the place. I'm all over the place.
I know.
So, folks, we are an hour and 11 minutes in. And we've talked at length about, the recapping of the game. Altogether, and this, by all means, this is not us saying we're leaving, we're out of here, because we've got 485 viewers coming from Facebook, Twitter, all over the place. So salute to y'all. While you guys are here, smash that like. Let's try to get this video here at 700 likes. Let's get this thing to 700 likes.
I like that.
700 likes. It's just apropos because of the 7 sacks that we put on Matthew Stafford's ass. 700 likes. Let's get that for this video right here. Now, we said that we'd take phone calls. We said that we jump in, and I want to hear what you guys, because there's some things that we may not touch on that you guys feel like this is the right, you guys should have said that, or you guys may want to vent. You might want to talk about how excited you are. This is your opportunity. If you're looking for the number to call in, the number is in the community tab on the YouTube page. It's there. Pierre, if you're still watching, if you could put that up there, that would be great. Now, another way we could do this, Z-Bot, actually inviting someone on here. We can put the link in the chat. Are you feeling that? Can we do that?
If I can talk to some mafia on a Victory Friday, man, I'm signing on that dotted line, man.
This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do it up right now. So I'm gonna send the link out. If you guys are brave enough, and you guys want in, this is your opportunity. I'm putting the link.
If you're not brave enough, look, I'm on live on YouTube right now with just a shy under 500, and I got this outfit on. So you got nothing to be afraid of. You can hop on here and go nuts with us.
Here it is. We're giving it to you. Victory Friday. We don't do this often. I put the link in there. If you're brave and you want to come on and chat with us, you know, say we can only have so many people on there. So you might be in the queue waiting to jump on there. Now I'm gonna make this very clear to y'all. This isn't a 5-minute, 10-minute, we're going to hang out. Listen, get your point in and get your point out, and we out of here. Listen, be prepared to talk your shit or be excited or make a valid point, but we're not going to sit here and have you yap all day. You guys already know what it is, because you guys start yapping all day, guess what's coming out? The hook is coming out, and you out of here. I don't want to do that to you. You know what I'm saying? I want to respect everybody. So we already have something. We have something popping right now. So let me get the 3-man banner going. Z-Bot, are you ready for this, buddy?
Born ready, baby. You know it.
Live, baby. We're taking calls live.
Right center down here.
Listen, this is the old school way we used to do these back in the day, fellas. So
I love it, man.
Right. So let's jump in. Let's go right here. All right, we got Let me add my man, TFP the Puerto Rican. What's
Look at that setup. I love it.
How you doing?
I'm doing well, sir. How's everything, man? Talk to us. You know the drill. We don't got to talk about it. Get in your bag. Let's go.
Bro, life is good. Life is good. We should have put up a 50 burger yesterday. That game was ridiculous. Should have been 52-10. If we don't have those miscues with the turnovers, Bass might not even kick that thing out of bounds. They might not even be 52-10. Maybe 52-3. This game was nuts. My wife's over here losing her damn mind. Bro, the man cave was lit. To say that. I love it. Now, listen, what stood out to you in that game where we may not have touched on it, and you're like, you know what, you guys missed this, but let me bring this up, or did we hit everything? Oof. You guys hit most of the stuff, but the offensive line. Oh, talk about it. Offensive line stifling. Talk about Aaron Donald. When they moved Aaron Donald, the attention of Josh Allen was there until the ball was snapped, and the ball was out in 2 to 3 seconds a lot of the times on those short routes. So when you had guys coming across the middle, you had guys running short, quick slants. You had guys, running outs, in outs. Josh Allen was 1, 2, 3. It's gone. It's gone. I freaking love it. And, I was a little. Go ahead. I was a little shook a little bit when at that first rep, Donald just absolutely blew into Ryan Bates. I was like, oh boy, it's gonna be a long day. But we hunkered down, we settled down. But that's a great point, man. That O-line. They settled in. How many times was Josh Allen sacked yesterday? I don't think he was sacked. How many times?
Yeah, Donald only had one. And I got to tell you,
Josh Allen was sacked twice yesterday. So that's one for Donald.
But I think one was where he tried to run and he teabagged Ramsey.
Yes. You got to give credit to Bates, though. I mean, he had the lowest passer or blocking rating out of anybody last night. But as far as what Donald could have done last night, the impact was not nearly what we've seen him do. So you got to give your credit. Totally great point.
And then Spencer Brown, he didn't play with the starters at all this preseason.
Yeah. I was shocked by that. I was like, what the hell is Spencer Brown doing in there? So I guess it was all freaking like, what was happening? I didn't get it. Questenberry, I thought was going to start.
Like everybody else, you, me, and everybody else thought it was going to be Questenberry.
Yes.
He had a solid offseason. Spencer Brown was hurt. We heard nothing about him other than he's on the sideline doing his thing, doing one-on-ones. With the trainers, and then all of a sudden the season starts and he's starting and he has a good, solid game.
Absolutely. Well, listen, that's a great point, my man. The Rican, I appreciate you, man. We're gonna keep it moving. We're gonna go to the next person. Salute to you, my G. Great point. Excellent. Listen, before I go into the next one, I'm gonna make a special phone call because this person has been calling, and I'm calling right now.
Do it for me.
You know what I'm trying to do.
Get him in here.
I'm trying to make it.
We getting a rated R? We getting a rated R Kinger, or is he?
Jeffrey King, are you there?
I'm fucking here, man.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, how the fuck are you, man?
We the legend.
Are freaking fantastic. Jeff, talk to us. Give it to us, baby.
Brother, what is there to fucking say, man? When I hear Colin Coward say today that was a fucking curb-stomping fucking machine. You can't say it. This is Colin Coward, the fucking Ivy League. It was the best, man. That is the
Wait, Jeff, are you talking Coward or are you talking Collinsworth?
Back from the 90s. I'm just sitting there watching that defensive line eat. And I'm going back to the days of Bruce Smith,
love it,
Cornelius Bennett, all these guys. These guys rushing with 4 was incredible. It was absolutely just incredible against the Super Bowl champs. I'd never been prouder of this team than I was last night. It was fucking fantastic, gentlemen. I can't say it any better than that.
Yeah.
It was fucking fantastic.
Great freaking point, Jeff King, because the pass rush without the blitz, and Zebot brought it up earlier. How great is that? We didn't have to freaking allocate our linebackers to get in there and put some pressure. We let the guys that get paid big money do what they're supposed to do. Love every bit of it. Zebot, you were going to say something earlier.
No, I was asking Jeff if he meant Collinsworth last night or Coward today because he said Ivy League guy.
You fall asleep like Kevin?
Huh?
He's there. Go ahead.
You got me, Jeffy boy? You know what? It doesn't even matter.
I'm not hearing him at all, Rico.
Oh, you're not hearing?
It doesn't matter, though, because I think what Jeff said, the point he made was my favorite. You want to know the word he used? He said proud.
Your mute off, Bob.
A long-time fan, right? And he said most proud he's been. And I think proud's the way to put it.
I get it. Listen, you relayed exactly what he was saying, and it is perfect. Jeff King, I don't know what was happening there. There was a bit of an audio issue. I think you weren't hearing Z-Bob, but nonetheless, you made your mark. You always do. We always love when you call in. It's always G, always the time. So let's jump into we got Jeff Green. Jeff.
Love it. JG.
Let's go. Let's fucking go, bro.
Listen,
like
Jeff, talk about it. Get in and get out of your point. You know how we do it here. Let's go.
Yeah, man. I got you. So I was so impressed. I'm at my mom's house and I'm watching the game, and all I said is GD all night long. Because that boy was just killing Ramsey. And when that deep pass, I was like, oh, it's game match sync.
Is it?
They couldn't do nothing with Allen. Allen's the best, the best quarterback in the league. MJF, I was watching AEW, and MJF was disrespecting on All Out.
Yeah.
So I was like, whatever, we're gonna win this game anyway. So it is what it is.
It is what it is. Jeff, I got one for you because you always give me outlandish and wild predictions. Next game, what's the score gonna actually? You know what? Give me the prediction that's gonna happen for Josh Allen next game against the Tennessee Titans.
Oh, and I'm gonna be there too, by the way, too.
Oh, let's go, baby. JG.
So
love it. What's Josh Allen gonna give us?
He's gonna go for 25 for 26. 305, 4 touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown to end the game.
Oh, yeah. You know what? And that's where you drop the mic and you're out of here. Jeff Green, salute to you. He's out of there. Jeff Green came in and dropped the mic.
Jeff was like, you thought Allen breaking the single game completion percentage record last night wasn't good enough. Let's break it again next week. I'm all in.
I'm all in. Listen, we're going to go to Bartek.
There he is.
Yo, what's up?
You made it on. I didn't think it would be this soon. I'm loving it. I'm glad we could do this tonight.
I know, me too. One thing, I got to give a big shout out to you guys just for what you guys do. Like, we got to put this into perspective. Like, you guys literally bring the whole Buffalo community together from across the world. I'm in freaking Denver right now. I drive to Broncos Stadium every single day. And I'm just laughing at them because, they probably won't be able to hang with us. But regardless, just appreciate what you guys do. Just like insane work. Like people don't realize this, but the stuff, the content you guys give out every single day, it's amazing. You literally bring the whole Buffalo community from across the world, and I appreciate that. And then just in terms of the game, I mean, we are just absolutely overwhelming. Like gonna be overwhelming teams on offense. Like let's be honest. Like we didn't even mention Knox's name, like you said.
Yeah.
We know that he's going to be a big part of the offense. Like we had, like Singletary was like, they couldn't really stop him, and we still barely ran. Like we still barely used him, and they couldn't.
Singletary had 6 yards of pop.
Yeah, I mean he was moving.
Exactly, but that's the thing. It's like, by the end of the day, it's like end of when we're talking about the game, we're not even mentioning Singletary like for the top, like you know what I mean, best plays or anything. But he was on paper, he was doing amazing things. So absolutely. I just think it's insane how people don't realize this, and also just our squad depth. Like we have Crowder coming in for McKenzie, doesn't miss a beat. But McKenzie, it's just, I think the squad depth is so overwhelming. We had Ed Oliver, he got injured, he came off. Daquan Jones came in and did his thing. I don't think people realize that we don't have Tre'Davious, and we're not missing a single beat. This is insane. The hype is real because
the hype is real.
The hype is how you are right now, because I know exactly what that feels like. I can tell in just the way you are right now is exactly how I am, and the feeling's euphoric. So channel that, baby. But you're dead on. You're dead on right there. I mean, think about it. Ed Oliver goes down. I honest to God didn't even know he was out of the game until they panned to him on the bench. Literally. The fact that they're this deep, and like you just said, we can go 2 hours, and I don't even have to talk about Singletary rushing for 6 a clip, because who the hell cares? It honestly, it's insane. Like you said, it really is.
Yeah,
it really is. And I got to say, because this is not the first time Bartek has been on the show. He's been, look at that. I love that you got the old school band. I just saw that. And the fact that I've seen Bartek has now got facial hair. The last time I saw him, he was clean shaven. He's got a mustache. He's got what's going on, fam? You growing the beard?
Denver vibe.
Oh, that's so funny. My girlfriend literally hates it. The only reason, so she lives in Poland. So the only time I don't shave is when I'm here, and I don't see her, because I'm like, okay, I don't look freaking 18 when I have it, because I'm 24.
Love it.
basically. Meanwhile, I look like I'm freaking 8 years younger.
Look at Bart. I mean, my girl hates it too, but look at man, you got to stand strong. You got to own it. It's yours.
I rolled it up yesterday and I posted on my Snapchat with my Bills jersey. I was at work and people were like, "What are you like, freaking French or something?" And I was just like,
"Listen, man, you guys are good because your ladies actually want you guys to shave yours. My ladies, I do not ever shave your shit because you look completely different. Oh, it's all different. But listen, Bartek, we appreciate you, man.
Yeah,
I know you've been watching for a long time, man. And I love the fact that you just, man, it's appreciated, man. Everything you said, we really do appreciate it, man. And that's the motive, man. I don't know what's happening here.
I don't know. I'm hearing a little. We getting a little Murphy in here. That's all right. Sounds good.
Bartek, we're gonna catch you later, brother.
Peace. Thanks, Bartek. Who is that?
I have no idea what audio is playing right now, but whoever's playing that audio, you got to turn it off. All right. So we're going to our next. Where is that playing from?
I'm trying to look if it's me. I don't think it is. No.
I'm trying to close everything I got on. Not on my phone.
What the hell is it? It's gone now.
Oh, I know.
I don't know, but it sounded like my man John Murphy was doing his best to tell us just once again how much Jalen Ramsey got burnt last night. I love that.
Absolutely. We got the next one. We got Jeff B. Jeff B. What's up, Jeff?
What up with it?
What's good, man? Talk to me, man. What's on your mind? Did we
man,
miss something? Oh, he's in. I love it already.
I'm from LA. I was at the game last night.
Oh, nice.
Right. Hey, you should have seen the looks on the Ram people faces, man. Hey, look. It's been a long time since I seen the looks on the mafia faces like that. Like I used to walk in places. Bro, I used to walk in places, man, and say, "Hey, I'm a Bills." They would ask me, "Hey, who's your team?" The Bills. And I would get this certain look. And now when I walk in places and say, "Hey, I'm a Bills fan," I get that look like, "Oh, yeah, yeah. It's real now, right? It's real now, right? Now, I just want to say this. We're not going to give up on Cook, man. We're not going to give up on Cook, all right? He had a fumble. He young. We're not gonna give up on him. I saw last night that Kenny Dorsey, he kind of used a little Dabo stuff last night. You know, I don't know. You know, he kind of started off. It's like being a kid with a rich father and it's Christmas, and you got all of these toys down here. You know, and you don't know what to play with. You got a train set. You got a nice train set, look like a city. You got a this and that. You got the electric car. Like you don't. I mean, what do you use? You got Dawson Knox. You got Davis. You got. I mean, what do you actually use, man? And I'm gonna tell you this: when we scored, when it was 17-10, I told all the Ram fans, man, we about to give y'all a nice shot of Von Miller. Nice shot of Von Miller.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Dose.
And that's exactly what Frazier did. He gave him a nice dose of that defense, man. And that defense right there, hey.
Oh, baby. Hey, Jeff, before you bounce out, I gotta hear from you. How was SoFi, man? What was it like being inside of that place?
Man, the Mafia lit SoFi up. Just like we do every other stadium. It wasn't no different. I mean, who they think we are? Like we travels. You know what I mean? I'm from LA, man. And when I went to Highmark, man, I'm from LA. My first trip to Highmark, I told Rev he gotta go to Highmark because he gotta get christened you gotta go to Highmark.
You're damn right. You're damn right.
So,
listen, man.
So I'm telling Rev. So I'm telling Rev, you gotta go to Highmark. Hey, man, we took over that stadium last night, and guess what? We're gonna take over every other stadium in the league this year, man. It's not a question of are we gonna win the Super Bowl. It's not a question of are we gonna win the Super Bowl. Who's gonna beat us?
Oh shit!
Who's gonna beat us? And tell everybody to line up. Who gonna beat us? I'm out.
I love it.
I didn't think I could get any more pumped than last night tonight, but Rico, damn.
That's the way I like this. I might have to bring this back because I used to do this back in the day. I might have to bring it back. If you're gonna bring it like that, that's exactly what it is. And you know what? I'm gonna play off of what Jeff B just said. He says Ken Dorsey's like having a rich father, rich parents, and he's got great toys, doesn't know what to do. For those that do have kids, you can get your kid the most expensive toy, right? Expensive toys, And you know what they do? The toy sits on the side and they play with the box.
No
they
doubt.
play with the box. The box is just fun. You know what I'm saying? Ken Dorsey, and I'm not trying to disrespect, you know what I'm saying, Zach Moss and James Cook, but you got a beautiful, you know what I'm saying, toy in Devin Singletary, and you playing with the box when you got, you know what I'm saying, James Cook, and you got freaking Zach Moss fumbling the damn football. You know what I'm saying? Stick with the nice box. Stick with the toy and not the box. But anyway, I'm not disrespecting them. I'm just kind of using the analogy. But anyway, you got one more person. I'm gonna bring this. I got to see how I pronounce it. Is it Latius?
The Titus.
Oh, Titus. What's up, Titus? What's happening, bro? Talk to us, man. Tell us what's on your mind.
Bills Mafia all the way in Georgia, man. How y'all doing?
Nice, hey, Georgia, man. I don't get that.
I was just in Alabama not too long ago, man. I was right next to you.
Yeah, I like the video. I like the video chat stuff. I've been watching y'all for the last 6 months now, man. Well,
appreciate that, man.
Yeah. But my question is for y'all is we got 2 people in our defense that's seeking extensions. Poyer and Edmonds. We'll see next week what Edmonds do against Derrick Henry because we need him for that.
Yep.
You're absolutely right. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if Bean is playing some kind of, he's not playing no games, but if you're going to earn your money, you're going to have to earn it in the first 7 games because we have a gauntlet of people that we play in the first 7 games. So your opportunity now is against Derrick Henry. Can you stop Derrick Henry? And I mean, it's a team thing, but you're right, though. Middle linebacker, you need to show me that you need this money. You want this money? Show me what you got against Derrick Henry. If you stop him, then we could talk about this extension. And you're right. Jordan Poyer or Edmonds, which one's going to get it? Now, I'm going to ask Zebot this. If you had to choose between extending Jordan Poyer or Tremaine Edmonds, because that might be what the situation is.
It might.
Money
yeah, I mean, to me, it's an easy answer, and the answer is Edmonds only because of the longevity you're going to get out of that signing with Poyer. I look at Poyer, and I think a 2-year deal max, and I don't think we write off the fact that both of them get a deal. One, I think Edmonds is guaranteed it. They love Tremaine Edmonds. That's their draft pick. I think he sticks around. I'd be shocked to let him go, and I can guarantee you right now this is going to be his best year. I can just see it. With Poyer, there's nothing that he has to prove. It's just up to Bean and his agent as to whether or not they're going to figure it out. I am of the belief we get another year with Poyer. I think it would be a mistake on Bean's part in the window that they're in right now to let him walk, knowing he can be a big part of them going to the Super Bowl. I think that they try to get that done ASAP here.
I like that. I'm going to put you on the spot too, bro. So if you're looking at both these guys, Jordan Poyer or you're going Tremaine Edmonds, who you like for this defense?
I want to be different. You know what I'm saying? Bills mouth be different. I want to maintain having the best safety duo in the league, man.
I like that because that's what buttons everything up, right? You can you ever have an outfit? Let me put something together for y'all. You ever have a nice outfit? The fit is nice. The shirt's just right around the arms. It's nice around the chest. You got nice jeans, and you sitting there, damn, I got no shoes.
Yeah, the shoes
puts the whole outfit together. It buttons up the whole outfit. So you can't be in a nice 3-piece suit and put some flip-flops on. You can't do that. I'm not saying that Tremaine Edmonds is the flip-flop, but it buttons everything up. So it allows these guys to do what they do. Why do you think Christian Benford is able to get in the game? Why do you think they have such trust in Dane Jackson? Because they got 2 dogs, bing bong, in the backfield that's holding it down. Latatus, I love that question, man. Great freaking question. You got me fired up right now, bro.
All right.
Thanks. Appreciate you, man. Out from Georgia. I love that. I love hearing where people are listening from. It's always fun.
I got you, man. Listen, Zebot, are we still rolling, baby, or what?
Hell yeah, man. It's Friday night.
You pick the next guest that you want to bring on, bro.
I got to tell you, game touchdown here came on. Looked like he was just absolutely ready. Now, I would bring on Eric B, but you can't see him. But right now, I mean, he's making what seems to be some sort of chicken Alfredo dish. I don't know what's going on down there. He's channeling his inner Rev, so I'm going to let him finish up his cooking over there. Let's bring on Game Touch.
Let's go.
Game Touch.
Yo.
From Dayton. What you got for us, man?
That's my guy, Max.
Just want to say, been watching Rico for way too damn long. Got my own goddamn bell. Got my own bell.
Hell yeah, man.
Got my broken Stevie Johnson bobblehead.
That's
my favorite player.
One arm to the house.
Yeah, my favorite player of all time as well. How about that game, eh?
What a freaking about it, man.
Me and a couple of my friends, we went to a bar to watch the game. We were listening to your post game yesterday on the way home, and my friend I got a buddy who doesn't even watch football really like that at all, But I got him to go to this bar that we go to because it's just insane. Like the atmosphere is crazy on game day. And we were cracking up the whole night listening on the drive back, listening to the Rico Report.
I was in my bag.
Putting the business.
Hard
hey,
not to be, right?
We finished. Hey, I mean, you said it, man. You want to talk about it, they finished.
You damn right. And
They
we all
just
want to
finished
finish.
and walked
Nobody wants to not finish. When when you handle your business, you gotta finish, or you're gonna have your lady hand you your shoes and say, you know what, sir, if you can't finish, you can leave.
Hey, hey, you're spitting right now, man.
I'm telling you, man, you
You're
got
spitting
to
it.
finish,
You're spitting it.
or you're gonna be on your way out.
No
Yes,
question.
sir. How
man.
do we feel? So, I know your Tuesday show hasn't started yet.
Right.
Probably haven't even thought about it. Shit. I mean, it's
Not yet.
Friday. Sunday hasn't even happened.
Right.
But man, dude, the Titans on Monday night again. Fuck.
Bills open up at 8.5-point favorites today, which is
Hey, I'm sorry. I would take that under. I would take the points. I would take the Titans with the points just
so would I.
because,
But
bro, they give us nightmares. People have been underrating them too. I've seen people having them miss the playoffs, like
It's
straight up.
possible. The AFC is disgusting.
yeah, I know. I just think the Colts are a bit better. I hear you though. You're right. I mean, it's not like they're much worse than they have been. I think that their playoff loss really lost a lot of support for them. 8.5 is a shit ton of points. I mean, I know what the Bills did last night. Oh, Rico, that's over a touchdown, man, against a former playoff team. I mean, that's a lot. That just goes to show you, like I was telling you yesterday, like these lines for the Bills are insane. But you watched last night. How could you bet on it again? I mean, how could you choose?
That's what I'm saying, bro. Put the money where the mouth is.
Rams, put your money on it.
Yeah,
That shit. This was a -2, and we freaking beat them by 21. And who's quarterbacking out there? Tannehill? Not to disrespect Tannehill.
No, you can go ahead.
Tannehill's the one that's out there. You know who gave us fits? It was freaking
Brown,
AJ
Derrick
Brown.
Henry.
AJ Brown gave us fits.
he
Now, I don't know
torched
if
us in that
Elon
COVID
Burks is
game.
an AJ Brown, but I'm just saying he gave
Be
us.
interested to see what happens with them, man.
Heck yeah,
Crazy.
heck yeah.
That's
Listen,
gonna be a good one.
How'd you guys do with fantasy though? How
we're
are you
chilling,
guys?
man. I had Diggs, I had Allen, so you know it was a good night for me.
You son of a bitch.
I had Cup. The only bright spot for them.
I had
Bills
freaking
down.
Allen
And-
Robinson.
And
Allen
I was
Robinson.
playing Akers.
You're bagged up.
That's even better.
The
That's a dummy.
best case scenario.
Love it,
Love
Mac.
Best case scenario.
We're gonna run because we got a couple more people, but you know the drill. You know the drill.
Can I get the shout out?
Who am I saying hello to?
Sippy Jack and Dara, as always.
Zippy Jack and Dara, what up, Big Biggity?
I love
Let's
it.
go. That's my guy.
Double
Mac.
down.
Mac,
4 years run. 4 years? 2019?
You damn right. You damn right.
2017? I don't know. It's been a long goddamn
been a
time.
long
Since
time.
I was like damn near in high school. So
I love it,
it's
man.
just crazy.
Listen, appreciate
Y'all
you,
the
best.
best.
We'll catch you on the flip
Z-Bot,
side.
you're like my second favorite too.
Well, hey, that's a good. I will take that any day of the week, Max. I appreciate that.
No one can beat Rico though.
Oh,
I'll take you
boy.
over Kevin. I'll take you over Kevin.
I don't even. Do I know what
Which
Kevin?
is
Kevin
of course,
Gerard.
Papa Peck.
Papa Peck.
Papa Peck.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, which says
Okay.
a lot, even though he's a Fins fan.
There you go.
You
I
didn't
like
back
it.
on the
our
show.
Kevin. I thought.
Our
Okay.
Kevin. Yeah, he's
Oh,
like,
Yeah,
Kevin taking me over
yeah.
Kevin. Yeah, I was gonna say, who the hell is Kevin?
And,
Dolphins fan, Kevin. Can't wait to get him on in a
Richards,
couple weeks.
is he still around?
what's that?
A Rich, is he still around?
A Rich is with built in Buffalo, but A Rich is a good cat, man. Good dude.
Yeah, no doubt.
I remember him. And,
That's why I got. Hey, listen, we gotta run, baby. I love it. Tell your people I said what's up, and we'll catch you on the flip side, my G.
absolutely, bro.
Thank you, Max.
Love it. Yo, Max has been following us for fucking
I
long
love
time.
that, man. The came
Love that dude,
ready with
man.
the bell. You can't top that, man.
Dude, man, this is honestly, this is why I do it. We started this on Facebook, and then you joined us a little afterwards, man. Like
I know, man.
Yo, this
I know.
is fun. That's all I gotta say. Listen, we're gonna take one more. Who do you want to take?
Eric B's been waiting the longest.
Eric B. Let's bring.
So we got to take my man Eric B, who I hope he's got his food ready now. I mean, he was chefing up. Eric, what was going on there, man? What were you making?
I got some chicken and gnocchi soup going. You know about Olive Garden chicken and gnocchi soup?
Chicken and gnocchi.
Look at that.
Oh, Rico, you're the cook, man. You tell me what your thoughts are here.
Listen, the chicken and gnocchi is looking pretty damn good. It's got some good thickness to it. Are you gonna let it sit on there for a little more so it can thicken a little bit? Or that's
Oh yeah. I still got to simmer on low for a few more.
Okay, I
minutes.
felt that because it looks a little watery, but I'm saying it's not complete yet. So it looks like it's
No,
a good color.
we good.
The sound of it sounds good.
Love
I mean,
it.
I like gnocchis. I like chicken. I mean, hell, you got me signed up, especially at this hour. I wouldn't mind going for a bowl of that right now.
I like it. Yo,
Eric, talk to me. What were your thoughts, man, last night?
Well, I gotta tell you, I'm out in LA right now, so it's only 7 o'clock here. That's why I'm making dinner, and I was at the game. Man, I gotta tell you, it was at least 50% Bills fans there. At least.
Was it that crazy?
It's nuts. It's nuts.
Well, you saw
they were pumping in crowd noise on when Rams were on third down defense. They had to pump in crowd noise to make it louder for them. And it's like, come on, that's embarrassing. You guys are Super Bowl champions.
You know, Eric, you're making a great point because I'm not kidding you. I saw this tweet out last night from a Rams beat reporter, and I shit you not, when I quote tweeted and I said, "This is one of the saddest things I've ever read," and I'm not kidding because it's true. As a Bills fan, it was legitimately sad to read this. Sarah Bishop tweets this out. She says, when asked if the crowd noise at SoFi Stadium affected him last night, Matthew Stafford said it did not, and he says, "quote I mean, we prepared for it. We prepared to be on the silent count at home again, but it wasn't something that we haven't done before." I mean, how depressed. You imagine going up to Allen after the game, having to ask him how it was dealing with the opposing crowd in the home field. That is just depressing.
It is depressing.
Oh my
It
God.
is depressing. I don't know if you guys caught this. There was a clip where Allen went to go shake some dude's hand, and the guy was like, "Nah." You can read his lips. He goes, "Nah." Allen's like, turns around, he rolls his eyes like, "Who the F is this guy? I don't even know you. You're on you're roster number 52, and you're gonna not shake my hand?" Yo, I can't believe this is not going viral right now.
That's salt right there.
I didn't see that.
It's out there. You're like, Allen goes to shake his hand, just like kind of be like, whoever you are, I'm shaking your hand. And the guy's like, "Nah." You got to be kidding. Allen's like, whatever, kind of turns his eyes. I'm like, yo, that's crazy, man. But you know what?
As much as I hate Brady, it'd be an honor to shake Brady's hand. I mean, just out of the respect. Are you kidding me? I
think these disrespectful LA brats. That's exactly why I call them the LA brats, not the Rams.
Eric, you were in the stadium last night, yes?
Yes, sir. I was in the nosebleeds, right at the very tippy top.
I like that. Outside of the mafia, I want to know, man, because I just can't get over looking at the place. SoFi, talk to me about just the experience inside there, because that place, every time I see it, it blows my mind.
I mean, I got to tell you, it's amazing just to see how big the stadium is, how huge the bowl of the stadium is, because it goes up into the 500 section. It gets up there. Yeah. I mean, I was up in aisle 22, tippy top. You got to climb a lot of stairs to get up there.
Yeah.
A lot of stairs.
I got to ask you.
I mean, it's a beautiful campus there, you know?
Yeah, no doubt.
I got to ask you this. So this was a closed stadium, or was it open? I know they had the choice to open it and close it.
It's closed. It was closed because it was 90-something degrees outside with the sun beaming down.
Oh, I heard it was.
You don't want to open.
Does it kind of give you an idea potentially of what the Bills stadium could look like, and if it's gonna give us an advantage, if you will, or not, knowing that it was in a stadium, but we're gonna have ours a little open? I wonder if like Bills fans that were at that stadium can now get excited, because a lot of folks are kind of indifferent on, we're gonna have to build a new stadium and it's gonna cost. But when you look at how beautiful that stadium, aren't you kind of excited? Like, damn, the Bills are gonna have a stadium is gonna be nuts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, even just the fact that everything's brand new, it just feels nice. You know, it just feels clean. And you're like, damn, all right, this is a nice building. That, you know, that was $5 billion. So I don't think we're not dropping that much, but hopefully we can get, you know, just like a nice clean look like that.
Yeah, they went double over budget at SoFi. So yeah, I just, it makes you wonder what it will be like here in Buffalo, because like Eric just said, I mean, that is like an egregious amount of money, almost double what the Bills are expected to spend.
Come on now, that's insane.
Plus LA County and whatever the hell.
He said it looked good. It looked clean.
Oh, I can't deny that.
Clean.
Love every bit of it, man. Listen, Eric B, appreciate you. Listen, I'm actually looking forward to getting your take on how you're and Yaki.
No doubt, yeah, me too.
Are we dipping anything in it, or are you just gonna take it fresh? Are you just gonna go right in there? Are you dipping anything, or are you straight?
Oh no, I got some breadsticks going. I got some pesto spread on some toast with tomato. I got a whole little lineup for it.
You know what? You deserve this. You deserve that. You deserve that. I respect it. You didn't just put hot dogs on a grill and call it a day.
No.
Put some work in there. Appreciate it, man.
No, I'm out in LA, bro. I'm bougie like that. You know.
I like it. I might have to come see you, man. I might have to come visit you and hang out with Eric. Yo, Z-Ball, let's go and hang out with Eric. Let's go Eric B, man.
If Eric's gonna put on that spread and we can go watch the Bills, man, I'm all in.
I got you.
All right, man. Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it, Eric. Enjoy the meal, man. Much love, brother. Man, I'll tell you, how come everybody who comes on here, whether it's Rev, Eric, I mean, everybody's I see you on Instagram. I mean, everybody's just chefing, man.
Listen, I love it, man. Me in the kitchen, man, bro. Ever since I'd say like the last 2 years, I say I do like 80% to 85% of the cooking in the house because I just love it. I say, yo, what y'all want? Or I might be inspired. I'm like, this is what I'm doing today. Or I might see something on TikTok.
Because you love it, though. You love it. You don't look at it like a chore, right? So
that's not even, man. Not even. Because I mean, I love this one thing. I mean, I'm gonna get sentimental here, but like, I actually love to see the look on my kids' faces when they eat. So
that's awesome.
I'm like the mom that's just sitting there going, mm-hmm.
The
baby's eating. So it's kind of nice. But my daughters are real. They're real too. They're kind of telling me, Dad, I'm not feeling that.
Well, that's good.
I mean, I'm like Josh Allen, man. You don't like that? All right, next play, next meal. I'm gonna make you like that. That's the way. That's what it is, man.
Let's play stiff arm, right?
Exactly. Polish 2 comes in and says, hey, man, it's so exciting thinking how our run defense will look like this year when we can get the sacks and put immense pressure on with 4 on the line and without blitzing. Our linebackers will look so much better. I freaking agree. And listen, Polish, I'm not gonna let you off the hook because it was you that was playing the damn John Murphy in the background. We were asking, who is it? And you didn't say a damn thing.
No, he did.
It was your ass.
Polish came in. He's like, oh shit, I know. I love the point he's making there, though, because you want to know what, Rico? That is the one singular thing I am most excited for next Monday. We got a taste last night of what this Bills D can do against a great offense, not necessarily a great run attack. Next Monday it's going to be about as good as we'll see all year. So we get, once again, another litmus test for this team to display the things that we were hoping they'd deliver on this season. Derrick Henry. Hey, look at last year. He took us to the cleaners, and so did Jonathan Taylor. So it's gonna be a task next week that I'm looking forward to facing.
I'm looking forward to it, and you know, it's like those times where you face a team and you're like, ooh, I'm nervous. Like when we play the Colts, I'm nervous.
Oh, you remember what I said before, yeah.
I don't feel nervous going against these damn Titans because I'm excited for them. It's redemption. We need to give it to them back and put them at freaking Owen, whatever if they even win next week. But like we need to handle business. That's what we need to do.
Well, Rick, I mean, you watched last night, and I understand, there's a homerism, and it's like Pierre, who every year he says 17-0, right? Because he can't help himself. But honest to God, last night, I'm sorry, but there's no way in any shred of confidence you could look at their schedule and pick out a loss. Unless that they completely unravel amongst themselves. Mm-hmm. It really is almost an impossible thought to think about who would be better than them and be able to beat them if they play the way they did last night.
It's very hard, man. When you and they're not even all the way dialed in.
No, not even close.
This is game 1. You know what I'm saying? Wait till we really dial in where we just can't. It's like playing basketball, man. The hoop is this big. We can't miss. I hope we get to the point that we can't miss. We got one more person coming in. I think he's just coming to say something quick because we ain't doing this. I'm gonna click on you.
Mark back round 2.
We're about to find out right now.
Yo. Zevon, I love your drip. I just wanted to say that. You're dripped the fuck out right now. I didn't even realize it. That's all I wanted to say, bro. That's it.
Love it. He's out of there. Just like that, he's out.
All right. You know what? If there could have been anything that he had to say, because I had a million ideas as to what it could have been, that was the best thing ever. And the fact that he didn't notice, I think he was so starstruck talking to Rico after last night's dominant win. Mark was like, shit, man, last night we were going nuts. Oh, look at Bob, man. He's dripped down. He's like he belongs in Soho, man.
Yo, you know what? And these are the reasons that we do these type of shows, man. Because it's
great.
Fun. And it gets back to, because I used to do this on Friday nights, right? It was like Friday nights, a chill night, get everybody involved. But man, shit, we should go right back to this. This was fun. Zebot, closing remarks, baby. Like, what do we want to close on?
For starters, I mean, just right, like what you just said right there, what we were able to do right there, we don't do that enough for one. And two, it just showcases a couple of things. One, how awesome you guys are, and truly how much we appreciate the amount of support. And also, it also showcases to you, I think, why we do this to the extent that we do it. I mean, we are doing this on the daily, and it's because we love it, and we love interacting with you guys, man. That right there was so cool. That made my night, and I absolutely loved it. Closing thoughts. I had said last week, going into this game, the Thursday nighter was as big of a test for the Bills as they'll have all season, beyond the fact that they were just playing the Rams. This was the game right out of the jump with the expectations on their shoulders that they were able to go out and not only prove that those were adequate, that they've earned them, that they were true, but that they could also prove that they are as good as advertised against anybody in this league. One thing that has been sort of an Achilles heel for the Bills in the eyes of the media or those who aren't Bills fans, it's always been, can you beat the good teams in the big moments? And we've seen them do it. But last night to me was about as big of a victory as the Bills have had under Josh Allen and Sean McDermott, simply because of what was at stake. And to me, what was at stake was the rest of the season. They just gave themselves a confidence boost that I don't think any of us could have anticipated. Last night was the fuel to the rocket that is supposed to launch this season into the Super Bowl. They filled it all the way up to full last night, man. It couldn't have been better. And like Rico, what you just said, I just said it couldn't have been better, but I have to retract that because it actually could have been way better. They left a lot on the table. And like you had said again, they're not even completely fine-tuned. If and when they get there, we're talking about a team in which I don't simply understand how you could possibly match up against. This coming Monday, and I'll be live this coming Monday, but the Monday following that, our next game, the Titans. That to me is also a big of a task as this defense is going to face as far as the run attack. Last year, we figured out if you have a great running game, you can move the ball on the Bills and compete with them. Rico, if they prove that they can stuff Derrick Henry after doing what they did to the Rams, look at all of the expectations, all of the hype. It may not even be enough, Rico. And yesterday I was saying it might have been too much.
It's not too much, and it's not too much. And I'm listen. We need to go back on something. Let me open my book here because I got booklets upon booklets of stuff that I write my notes on.
I love it.
If I have it, I'm gonna go to it, folks. We were stressing on how are we gonna handle these freaking Rams. These Rams are they're gonna be the biggest challenge, and they give us the Rams right off the bat. Like, how are we gonna handle this? And we handled it with ease. And we had room for error. You know what I'm saying? And let me tell you something. We've got more tough games coming up. The Rams were number one. We took them down with ease, and we gave them 4 freaking turnovers. We gave them the ball 4 times, and on top of that, we kicked the ball out of bounds. That's number one.
Yeah.
And we play the Titans. You don't think we can take down the Titans? You don't think that we have something? You know what I'm saying? If we're playing a team that we rarely play, like I would say the Eagles. The Eagles, okay, well, it's interesting. No, we know what we're facing with the Titans. We need to prove to us and prove to a whole lot of people that we lost out on a Josh Allen slip. Let's keep it a buck here. So we're going to make sure that we fully finish on these guys. And then we go to who? The Dolphins. All eyes are going to be on the Bills these first 7 weeks. Rams, Titans, Dolphins, then the Ravens. People are talking about how good the freaking Ravens are with everybody healthy. J.K. Dobbins potentially coming back. Lamar Jackson's putting his freaking contract talks aside. He's ready to ball out. Fam, this is going to be a tough task. That's why we can't hang on to this Rams win, because the Rams might not be as good as they are. There are a lot of times where teams go to the Super Bowl and they fall off the cliff the year after because you don't hear from them again, right? After Atlanta went to the freaking Super Bowl, what the hell did they do after that? Nothing. So the Rams might be that team that just falls off a cliff and you're just not good. So we can't really hang too much on this Rams victory. It's nice, but we're done because we got the Titans, the Dolphins, the Ravens, and we got to face the freaking Steelers, very well coached Steelers. And then guess what? On to KC. We know what it is, man. This is going to be a long freaking season. Let's breathe in. Woosah.
And I'll tell you, speaking of KC, I'm very, very interested. They got 2 tough games out of the gate here. Arizona, then right into Thursday night against the Chargers. So we're going to get a really good glimpse this weekend of what we're up against. Coming here. It's going to be great, Rico. I'm stoked.
I freaking can't wait. This, I mean, I think we feel this way every year. We're like, this is going to be the best season ever because it's so exciting. But fam,
this is it, man.
This freaking season is going to be epic. Heather Smith comes in with a comment says, Rico and Zeba are hella entertaining. Girl, what have you been doing this whole time? We've been doing this for 2 hours now. Where you been wasting your time somewhere else? Girl, you should have been here from the jump. I'm just saying, girl.
Well, Heather's going to have to join us the next time.
Well, she's gonna have to. You got no choice. And while you're here, Heather Smith, you might as well smash that like and then subscribe to the channel. And then not only that, you're going to see this little thing right here at the bottom of your screen. You can tap it. You can bump it. You can twist it. You can do whatever the hell you want. But just make sure that you hit that notification bell so you know every time we go on. Come on now, stop playing games. Now, we appreciate that you're here, by the way. Yeah, I'm just putting it out there.
Sure.
I got it in my bag just a little bit just there. I said you can bop it, you can twist it. What the hell was I thinking there? But I went there.
Heather's done. Ben subscribed. She said so. She's on it. She's
I love it. I love every bit of it. But anyway, we got a slew of games, man. So we got to take them one at a time, man. So Titans are next Monday night. Z-Ball, you're gonna be at the game.
I am gonna be at the game, baby. You better believe it. I gotta tell you, man. Like you said, I'm not nervous. If anything, the excitement level, just the Monday night after a win like that, the home opener with the season being what we think it's going to be. I mean, that's going to be a rocking mother effing crowd over at the Ralph, and I cannot wait.
Man, I wish I could make my black ass just go like this and go from Canada to Buffalo.
We gotta lock down that game, man. I know we've been kind of dancing around.
I know we've been dancing too much, man. You got me feeling like Michael Jackson over here, man.
So you're Billie Jeaning around that thing. We gotta get it figured out.
So we gotta listen. If there's a last second scenario where I'm able to make it, but don't forget, I got kids, I got family. Wifey's already. She's like, "You're going to the Pittsburgh game, girl?" Yes, I am. You know this. You know, COVID was the whole thing stopping from going there. Not COVID. This whole COVID slowing down a little bit. My black ass is going to Buffalo. And that's enough. I don't want to hear anything from
them. And Rev's is too, and Pierre's is, and Bobby's is. We're getting the whole squad, and then we're up here and we're doing it. I mean, we're doing we're doing the game, we're doing the tailgate, we're doing the wings. Rev's cooking. We're gonna do the whole thing.
Yo, you got me hyped right now, man. You need to stop it, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's a damn show. And I think this is one of the best shows that I've done in some time. And there's some really good ones, man. We've had some really good ones, but you know the chemistry's there. You know what it is, man. So, folks, if you guys are first-time watchers, viewers, listeners, you're listening on podcast form, you're listening all the way out to this point, here's what I need you to do in the chat. If you've watched all the way to this point, in the comment section, if you're watching on the replay, I want you to type in Zbot Zubot.
Yeah. Oh, that's actually a good one. We could do that, man.
Zbot Zubaz. What is it? Zubaz? What are you on? Zubaz?
Yeah, the Z-U-B-A-Z, Zubaz. Yeah, but Zubaz, man, that could be the collab of a lifetime right there.
You got me a tongue twisting this shit. Zbot Zubaz. Yeah. Zbot Zubaz. I need another Z. What do you want to put there?
Another Z?
Yeah, another Z. Triple Z.
What the hell even starts with Z? Zoo?
Zubot Z. You know what? Zubot Zbot ZZ Top. Let's go, man.
Okay, all right.
Type in those three things that lets us know that you've been watching this whole damn time.
I like that.
Zubot ZZ Top, and we got this, man. So that's it for us, man. This was fun.
That's a fun Friday night in the Bucks, man. I mean,
it's a fun Friday night.
Yeah.
You need
You're
to
like
call
us. You need to get that energy out, man, after something like last night, you know?
You do. And I got all the freaking energy. Now I'm about to go upstairs, you know what I'm saying, and chill out a little bit, give me a bowl of cereal, because that's what I do. I'm a bowl of cereal guy before I go to bed.
I like that.
It's one of those scenarios. It's 11 o'clock for me, so it's 10 o'clock for you. So the night is still young for you guys on East Coast. But we appreciate you guys tuning in.
Big time.
You know what I mean? And your boy Rico. It's the Buffalo Fanatics, man. And although this says the Rico Report, but this is the Buffalo Fanatics all together. And we're going to be back at it again Monday night with my man Zbot with the smoke break.
We'll see you there, baby.
On Tuesday and again on Wednesday with my man Rated Rev. And then guess what? We're going to be back Friday. And then guess what? It's Monday Night Football. And we're back. So, folks, have yourself a great one.
Yeah, man.
Enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Big games this weekend. Tune in. Take a look at who is going to lose to us in the future.
Get your bets in. Get your bets in. If you haven't listen, I gotta plug it in right before. If you haven't got your bets in, here it is, man. This is the last bit. Get it in there.
Do it.
US. Promo code BF125. You get a sign-up bonus of 125%. Get your money's worth, man. You want to put $50? You want to put $2,400? Go ahead and do that. It's your money. But if you're nice like that, you'll make some money. And we'll go from there.
Tell you what,
ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Zbot. It's your boy Rico. And we are gone. We'll catch you guys on the flip side. Have yourself a great weekend. And we're gone. Let's go, Bills.
Buffalo, it's the mafia. Buffalo, it's the mafia. It's the Buffalo Bills, it's the Buffalo Bills, Buffalo, it's the mafia. Josh Allen, Steph Diggs, Shaq Lawson, who's stopping us? Trey Edmonds, Ed Oliver, Jordan Phillips, who blocking us? I don't see nobody stopping us. Number one, no one on top of us. Mitch Moore snapped the